opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barber's Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It is Monday, May 5th, 2025. I'm your host, Scott Lewis. Of course, you know to follow me on all social media platforms. That is at Barber Scott. That's Twitter/X. That's Instagram. That's TikTok. It's the whole nine, man. Of course, you can follow the Barber Share at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms, and follow our partners at H&B Media and H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. Of course, subscribe to the Patreon. If you are listening to this on the audio form, you can you can click on the link in the description box, which will take you right up into the QR code, which you have all four different tiers. Subscribe to the $5 I'm Not Gonna Hold You tier, or the $10 Barber's Chair Access tier, and you will get 25% off your first order on the Barber's Chair Network shop. That is the bcnetshop.com. We've got a new shirt out right now, man. Prince that was promised, T.S. Caleb Williams / Game of Thrones, type of mashup, man. Real dope shirt we got out right now. Cop yours right now. And of course, man, just, get in tune with everything we are doing. We've got a packed show for y'all today. Courtney will be joining us later in the show. Tosin will be joining us later in the show for For Dummies. But I'm going to bring in my two guys who I'm kicking the show off with. We've got JR Bang and the one and only Pavy. You can follow Bang at all social media platforms at JR Bang. You can follow Pav at Pavy World on all social media platforms as well. Pav, how you feeling, man? It's one week since your album's been out. How you been liking the reception?
I've been liking it. It's been good. Can't complain. Getting real life reception, obviously, because I be out. So yeah, I can't complain. So yeah, it's been good. Last week was a long week. The release party was dope. Yeah. But yeah, it's been good, bro. I can't complain.
Shout out to everybody who pulled up to our release party last Monday. It was a dope event, man. Definitely had a good time. Bang, how you feeling? Oh shit, that's fine. Actually, no, it's not fine. That's on me. I muted you. That's on me.
It's 2 weeks in a row.
That's right. All right, that's on me again.
2 weeks in a row. All I said was I missed the invite. I would have loved to come to LA. I've never been to LA.
You've never been to LA?
Nah, Super West Side nigga. I've never went to LA.
Nigga, you work with a radio station. It's very hard to believe you've never been to
my wife's been to LA. My cousin's been to LA.
Damn.
I've never been to LA.
Oh man. Well, we definitely advertised it.
Nah, but people want personal invites though.
Yeah, I suppose we work, for the same. You supposed to be like, yo, bang, slide.
Yeah, well, nigga, well, you saw the Instagrams. Like, I don't know what to tell you on that one, boss.
But no, we all good, man. We all good. Another weekend of some wild and crazy sports and shit. Even shocked at the hockey shit that happened yesterday, where I might stay on just a little bit to ask Courtney about this Winnipeg Jets situation, how they was down like 2 goals with like a little bit left to go and they end up winning. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's been the Stanley Cup playoffs have been crazy. I think that honestly, this has been a good round for the NBA and NHL. I've been very impressed with both. The way the Stars came back last minute last night. It's just been I think they had like 2 game sevens as well as the NBA, man. So it's definitely been crazy. So we'll definitely get Courtney's opinion on that later. I just want to send an apology to everybody who was listening and watching this show last Friday and heard like a bumping noise every time I would talk. It's because of the damn like my table was shaking because I live right next to a train. So it's like my stuff was shaking, but it's like I didn't have the microphone as protected as should have been. So it sounded real shitty. It was driving me up a wall. But I have a new microphone stand, ladies and gentlemen, so we shouldn't have any of those issues around this time. But before we get to the main topics, did y'all hear about Abdul Carter being told get up out of it by Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor for not wanting to use their retired jerseys? I personally have no problem with that. I'm old school, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I heard that, but I was going to just say I heard that. I want to hear what you had to say.
Yeah, so for me, it's like this. I know some people don't like the concept of telling a newer player we can't wear that jersey. If my jersey's retired, it's gonna be retired for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I want to keep my legacy going, and I don't want to be giving that up. If I'm Abdul Carter, I wouldn't want to wear somebody's jersey either. So that's just how I feel about that. Pat, huh?
They don't even know if you can hoop yet.
Right, exactly.
Like ain't like you like I don't know you like a what I mean I don't like for instance when Khalil Mack came to the Bears obviously you great you want to wear a retired number because that was your number okay cool whatever but when do you know if you can hoop yet bro you a rookie she's like no and me personally granted I don't know I have no idea how I would feel at 18 19 20 21 but me personally I probably wouldn't want to wear somebody else's retired number I probably want to make my own legacy in my own number me personally.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's just especially not a legend like a Lawrence
not
Taylor.
like Lawrence Taylor, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you somebody who a legend for that franchise, okay, whatever. We talk about probably top 10 football players ever in Lawrence Taylor. I probably wouldn't want to, do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I wouldn't want to play for the Patriots and wear Tom Brady number. I don't think that's just, I don't,
And like I think that I think it came from you have Warren Moon who he gave his number 1 to Cam Moore. Now he didn't play for the Titans, even though it's the same franchise. But I'm glad they told him we got to keep some recipes, man. Like build your own. That's just how. Now I can see if it's like some franchises, like I know the Bears stopped retiring numbers because they have too many retired jerseys. So with a situation like that, it's a little different. But I don't think the Giants got too many retired numbers. Like just find something else. So that's just my quick opinion.
So what? Hey, Phil Simms is gonna be like, nah, buddy, and he did. And Lawrence Taylor is quite possibly the greatest defensive player of all time. Hell no. And the gall, I'm gonna say the gall that Abdul Carter had to even suggest that he should possibly wear that number or even ask. No, you got to have some big nuts to do that. Like Lawrence Taylor is the best defensive player of all time. That man was suspended for a full year. That man was on crack, and he still was the greatest defensive player of all time. Like this man had all of the issues, any issue you could think of, and you gonna come up in here, you ain't even got no sack yet, and you gonna ask to wear his number. Man, Lawrence Taylor probably should have asked that in front of Lawrence Taylor so Lawrence Taylor could have fired off on his ass. That, I don't say that often, but the gall of even asking to wear that dude number, Like, no, you got to find somebody else. Like, you can't wear Harry Carson number. You can't
Nope.
wear Carl Banks number. You can't wear Lawrence Taylor. You can't wear Phil Simms. Like, Orlando, hey, go ask Rodney Hampton if you could use that number. Like, go ask Otis Anderson if you could use that number. Jeff Hotsteller, something else. No, Jack. He
And
wild
I'll
for that.
be like, I know who I'm trying to think with. Like I know the Bears are not have too many retired numbers. I'm not saying Peanut Tillman should have his jersey retired because I don't believe he should. But it's like it's funny sometimes I see Jalen Johnson before he changed his number to 1. It was 33. And I also don't like how they passed 88 down with the Cowboys. Like
I
I
don't like that either.
personally, I don't like that either. Like what Drew Pearson had it first, then it was Michael Irvin. There was Des Bryant to see. Now, granted, all these niggas have been cold at one particular point in their career. I just would personally not like that if I was that. But glad they told them no. We got to keep some recipes intact, man. But let's go to the NBA, man. I don't know if I know y'all saw because I sent it to both group chats. NBA on NBC announced their new lineup this week for when they're starting in the fall with their new coverage. They're really in full marketing mode right now, man. We know exactly what's going to be happening. Like we're witnessing the last couple games on TNT before it moves over. They put out what I thought was a pretty dope video with the old round ball rock NBA on NBC theme. They had Luca in there, had old girl from Law and Order, had a lot of people, and I thought it was really dope that they're gonna be bringing it back. Now they announced that the whole NBA on NBC crew, Mike Tirico is gonna be the lead play-by-play announcer. I personally don't know how I feel about that because when I think of Mike Tirico, I think Sunday Night Football. Now I don't, not to say that he can't call NBA because I feel like he's talented
Yeah,
enough
he
of
did
an
before.
announcer. Yeah, he did it before, but like now I'm trained. My mind is trained to think Sunday Night Football when I hear Mike Tirico. But not to say there's anything wrong with the Italian legend doing that. But he's going to be the head play-by-play announcer with Reggie Miller and Jamal Crawford. I've always said I never thought Reggie Miller was a bad commentator. Reggie's just annoying as hell. But you got that over. It's got some familiarity with the TNT crew. Jamal Crawford is great. I love Jamal Crawford. I think he's one of the best when they usually have those TNT games on Tuesdays. He's a really good one. Noah Eagle will also serve as a play-by-play announcer. Son of Iron Eagle. Of course, he is also the Nets play-by-play guy. He's great. And then you're going to have Carmelo Anthony is going to be one of the studio analysts, which I love. He's great on this show, 7 p.m. Brooklyn with him, Mero, in front of the program cast. So that's going to be dope for that. And then we also saw that Amazon has released their list. Of course, we know that another friend of the program, Taylor Rooks, will be their their sideline reporter, which should be very interesting to see her do that and do more stuff with the NBA because I know she's doing their NFL coverage of there. But they're also going to be bringing over Udonis Haslem's going to be an analyst, Steve Nash, Candace Parker, and D Wade. So, Bang, what's your thoughts on the trailer they dropped with the round ball rock, and what do you feel about the new announcing rosters that we got for both Amazon and NBC?
Hey man, the one thing that NBC gonna do right is promotion and marketing, and they've already knocked it out of the park with this, bringing back round ball rock, which we knew they was gonna do in the first place. But getting all the celebrities and the basketball players to hum the theme song and everything, they win just off of that. In general, I'm waiting to see. I'm really waiting to see what the studio team looks like, the complete studio team looks like. Because as you said that you're trained to listen, to pay attention to Mike Tirico. Mike Tirico does the studio. So to see him back in the field is going to be very interesting in itself. However, yeah, I want to see what that studio looks like. I want to see who's around Carmelo Anthony, because if it's anything that NBC did right, which was everything, the one thing that I did love is seeing back in the day, like Pat Riley and company being the in studio the in-studio analysts and all of that. And that's what they do well also. Sunday Night Football is great. The Olympics was great, and everything. So I want to see what that looks like. As far as everything else, though, NBC is going to knock it out the park when it comes to the promotion of putting it together. This is no exception. I expected nothing else.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the Sunday night basketball is going to be like once the NFL season's over and that replaces it. Like, is that going to become a staple with the NBA coverage that we'll start looking forward to those games the same way we used to look forward to NBA on TNT on Thursdays? Pat, what you think about the NBC and Amazon rollout this weekend?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I think it'll be great. I was a person who thought like it was time for a change anyway. Like even when I listen to TNT, like the way the broadcast sounds, like even that Cleveland Cavs Pacers game, Greg Anthony sounded like he was calling the game from my crib.
It was terrible yesterday.
It was terrible. It was like the sounds have been really bad this playoffs as far as like the way the broadcast just sounds. So I think it was time for a change anyway. So I'm excited to see what the actual in studio set looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like what the actual set is gonna look like. But yeah, like I think it'll be great. Like bringing in Melo. I think Melo will do a great job. D-Wade will do a great job. As you said, Jamal Crawford when he calls games. I love when Jamal Crawford calls games. I never had a problem with Reggie Miller. I like Reggie Miller. So yeah, I think they did a good job hiring the studio cast, and yeah, I think I think it'll be dope. Like I don't really see why it wouldn't be. So yeah.
I just have one more question, BC. Now, obviously, this isn't gonna happen a lot because these two niggas are old. But for opening week on NBA on NBC, I need Bob Costas and Amar Rashad, Willow Bay, all on that set, just for one night. Just give me for one night.
No, we don't.
Like I just need it for nostalgia purposes.
Leave it in the 90s early.
I said for me. Go to hell with you. For me, I need that.
Man, you may as well
bring it back for one night. That's all I'm asking.
You may as well go on YouTube right now, pull up
it don't hit the same.
And rewatch it.
But to bring it back, it said leave them whole niggas on. Dante is commenting. You should be at work, nigga. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Hey, Scott, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on this one. For those who know, for those who was there, for those who know, we ain't saying for the whole season.
Yeah, exactly.
And I ain't saying these niggas got to call the game. They just got to show up. They just got to show up. Say hi, nigga. Like, be in the audience. Do something. I mean, I do need Amar Rashad to pass the like, who's gonna be? Did they say who's gonna be the sideline reporter?
No,
NBA on NBC yet?
Taylor Rooks is doing that for Amazon, so I don't know who's
she's doing that for Amazon. So yeah, that's the last step. Once we find out who that is, just pass some torches. I need to see Marv Albert in that fake ass hair and shit and all that makeup. I need him to look like he about to die before he do die. To pass that torch to Mike Tirico. I need look, here's okay, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, Pavy, let's meet in the middle right here. If we do it Pav, can we at least get a monologue?
Right, exactly.
Narrated by Bob Costas.
Yes.
There we go.
Monologue.
There we go. With the monologue. As long as we get that, like as long as
we get a homecoming monologue where he gives the definition of home.
Man, give us that. You give us that. Then Pav, you have all. You right. You won.
Okay, look, I got two things. Two things I need, and we can send them old niggas to retirement home. Bob Costas' monologue and one last Amar Rashad interview with whoever was the finals MVP for this season. That's all I need. Then we can bring in the new era. We can send the niggas to retirement.
Man, Jason Tatum. How you doing?
Right.
That don't even hit the same, bro. That don't even sound right. My main man, Jason Tatum, don't even sound right.
Because it's Jason Tatum, that's why it don't sound right.
It could be anybody, it don't sound right, bro.
Like niggas don't want to see, even though they're not gonna win this year. I feel like it only hit if like the Warriors won. Like to have Steph Curry sit down with Amar Rashad. Like imagine Amar Rashad sitting down with
it gotta be Draymond. Not even Steph. It gotta be Draymond.
Yeah, that would hit. Anybody on the Warriors. But I feel like the reason it would hit with Steph because Steph is. I feel like him and Amar Rashad will mix for an interview. Imagine Amar Rashad interviewing Jokic. That'd be hilarious.
No, they gonna have some old ass footage with Amar Rashad interviewing Dale Curry And Steph Curry just playing in the back and shit. It's like, do you remember this? My main man, Steph Curry. Do you remember this video right here? Oh, man, yeah. I just want to be with my dad or some shit like that.
Exactly. That's all I'm asking for. And then we bring in the new era, and we all good to go on that one, man. But shout out to NBC and Amazon. Really looking forward to both of those coverages. I'm also interested to see inside the NBA on ESPN, see what that's gonna look like, man. But let's talk about. Oh, that's a good one. DA said Ant. Imagine Anthony Edwards with a Marvin shot. Anthony Edwards probably don't even know who Marvin shot is.
He don't know who that nigga is, bro.
The find that he didn't know who A-Rod is, then went on YouTube, was like, oh, that nigga was cold. It's hilarious. That's just Anthony. That's actually not Anthony. That's a lot of young niggas. But anyway, last night, the Golden State Warriors survived, beating the Houston Rockets in Game 7, 103-89, man. It was a real big game for them. Really, I want to say the big three, but the big four that they got, man. Draymond Green had a really great defensive performance, put in 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists as well. Jimmy Butler had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Steph Curry, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He only went 4-10 for 3, but made some big shots with him. But Bud Hill had the game of the night, 33 points, went 9 from 11 from the 3-point line. And then you look on the Houston side, Houston, I don't. This is basically what Pavy called. Pavy called this to a T, or what this offense is going to look like this series. I was trying to do the setup and make things look good for Jalen Green, and this nigga had 8 points last night. 8 points, just nasty offense. They only had 89. 103-89 is real old school score. But I look at this, man. This was a win for the Warriors that I expected. I picked them to win Game 7 on was it Friday? They had a show. I don't know, whatever there was. But this is what happens when you're a veteran team. The Rockets just weren't ready. I think they put up together a better fight than I thought they would, especially those last 2 games. When they went up 3-1, I thought this one was a wrap, and it wasn't gonna even stretch to where it got. But this is the thing with the Warriors is, man, they just know how to win. Steph is low-key one of the best NBA performers in Game 7 history. He always has a great game. It's very, very evident that thumb is bothering him, and it's going to be a factor throughout the entire postseason. But he made some big shots toward the end, and there was a shot like late in the fourth, probably mid-fourth quarter, where he hit a 3 over Amen Thompson and pushed the lead up to 13. I was like, yeah, that's it right there. That's going to be the final closing right there, and they just completely crumbled. I thought Thompson did really, really well. I'm continuing to say if he gets even some sort of a jump shot, it's going to be really, really good for him. But the Warriors are ready. They're battle-tested. Jimmy Butler was a signing that was a trade that a lot of people clown when it happened because obviously it wasn't Kevin Durant. But he's somebody who I feel like can slow the offense down when the Warriors get into their Warrior turnover bag. And he can get to the free throw line much easier than anybody else on the team does. There was possessions toward the end of that game where Podziemski was just dribbling, and Jimmy was able to be the common force and be able to get the basketball in the hands of people who need to be there. So I thought it was an amazing win for them. Really showed their championship fortitude. And for the city of Houston, Steph Curry's got to be probably their most hated sports rival out of any of the teams that they've had over there. Because he's been beating this. He's 5-0 against them in the playoffs. And that's just over the last 10 years. Incredible run for them. We'll talk about how they'll fare against Minnesota later on in the show. But, Pat, what'd you see from the Warriors last night in their win over the Rockets?
I really think you got to give Kerr some credit, like a lot of credit. He countered the double big lineup that they were doing. He finally figured it out. I also thought that the past 2 games, like kind of the Warriors, I don't want to say tricked it off because like I do want to really give Ime credit. I want to give Adams credit and Şengün credit. Like they definitely made the impact felt and beat him up on the boards. But I want to give Ime credit for the way he went zone and the way that like the double big lineup and the things that he were doing that actually did negatively affect the Warriors. And I want to give Kerr credit in Game 7 for countering that. He put in Looney. He went zone, and did like those things and kind of did what the Warriors did to the Rockets. But really, I think it was just the Warriors made shots and the Rockets didn't, bro. Like if I think the Rockets, I don't know what they shot from 3, but I know it was terrible. Like if they could have made, like they were playing zone and had wide open shots. There was a possession, forget what quarter it was in, but Amen and Jalen Green were both at basically the 3-point line, just passing the ball back and forth. One of y'all got to shoot the basketball, bro. So yeah, the Warriors made shots and the Rockets didn't. I mean, Steph had basically 0 points all the way up until halftime, and they were still losing. Granted, the others played well. Like Buddy Hield had the game of his life. I don't know why. Buddy Hield had his best game his best game of the season. I don't know why it took so long. Like the man was out there acting like he can't. Buddy Hield was actually one of the best shooters in NBA history. So I don't know why it took so long for him to like make shots.
Yeah, statistically, yeah.
Like literally is. So I don't know why it took so long for him to make shots, but it did. And tonight last night he made shots. Paz made shots. Draymond even made shots. Draymond played great. Jimmy made shots. So I think the big difference between the two teams was one team made shots, the other team didn't make shots. And this is what you got.
Now, Bang, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you pick Houston? Or do we even preview the game? Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay. Oh, hey, y'all. Hey, stop, fam. So let me get back to this podcast, y'all. So I picked Golden State to win, but I said that it was going to be some problems in Game 7. It wasn't no goddamn problem in no goddamn Game 7. Look, the Golden State Warriors look like the experienced teams that they are. Buddy Hield just went off. I guess all of that time that Jimmy and Steph has been hazing him a little bit, worked up in this joint right here. I just didn't expect it to go the way that it went. I thought it was going to be a much closer game, but Golden State was going to pull it out. So shouts out to them. It just exposed a lot of things that the Rockets need. I know I've been looking at the TV, and there's a lot of speculation about what this team is going to do. So that's going to be real interesting. But for what we see right now with the Houston Rockets, job well done for taking this to 7. Not really looking at this as a 2 versus 6 seed. Just looking at this as a lot of experience versus a team who may have overachieved. But it's still a very good team. So now we're going to find out how much Golden State got left.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point, too. It's playing time. That comment right there is crazy. Got Dante in the corner leaving comments and shit. But,
shit.
But I think what you just said was something that was very important. Like I don't look at it as a loss for Houston. Like, obviously, it's a loss because they got eliminated from the playoffs. But they
it's a
loss.
No, it's a loss. You won 52 games. You were the
Come on, bro. But nobody saw that coming.
You won 52 games. You were the number 2 seed. There's also no guarantee that they'd have this season again. I think that we all think that what if they're Memphis? Like everybody thought 2-3 years ago, Memphis is gonna be the new team in the West.
Okay, but you stepped on my next point. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that yes, I don't. You gotta give them praise for what they did this year. What nobody expect. I didn't have them winning 50 games. I had them maybe as a play-in team. I definitely didn't see 52 wins and 2nd seed. So yes, it's a loss because they got eliminated, and I didn't pick them to win this series. I had Warriors in 5. And so to me, that was a win. But what I was going to say is the next point is, what do you do from here? Because the same thing to me as Detroit. Okay, Detroit, what you did was cool. What's the next step to get you into that top 4? What is Houston going to do to stay there? You know what I'm saying? To be able to stay in that battle. Because this team, as constructed, they're going to regress next year if they keep the roster the way it is. I think they need to go over there and get a veteran. To me, Kevin Durant is the trade that makes the most sense. He can hoop. He loves hooping. He fits with that team. I love to see him with Ime Udoka. And most importantly, he's not going to cost as much as probably Giannis is going to cost. It will be a much cheaper move to add to the team, and you won't have to give up as much. So that's what I mean by that. Like, yeah, I'm not a more victory nigga, but I'm saying from big picture, it was great what they accomplished this year. But now it's up to the general manager and Udoka to come together and say, how can we take it to the next level? Especially if we got beat by these old niggas. How are we going to compete with OKC going forward? How are we going to continue to compete with Denver or Minnesota? That should be the topic for them going forward. So that's what I meant by, oh, it's not all the way bad. But go ahead, Pam.
I mean, you addressed it, but yeah, no, I think it is bad. You push it to 7, and the way you got the lead down to 3 in Game 7 in your on your home floor. You think you should win that game? Like the way they performed in Game 7, it wasn't good enough by all parties. Ime got outcoached by Kerr, and they got outplayed, so it wasn't good enough. So I don't want to say that. Like, and even what was it? Game 4 when they lost on the last, like they lost in the last, that series could have easily been 2-2 and not 3-1. So no, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, that was Game 4. Yeah.
4,
it was your event. Yeah, it was doing your event. Yeah.
You were the 2 seed and you lost to a 7 seed. I'm sure not many times in NBA history has that happened. I'm sure it's less than 30. So no, it's a disappointment. Point blank, period.
Bang, is this a disappointment?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, yo, small victory though. You was still a 2 seed. I mean, what? You still a 2 seed, and you still lost at home. Like, so no, I mean, yeah, it's a disappointment. But with disappointments, you have a lot of things that you could grow on. And I don't know, man. I might be in the minority, but I think I'm off the KD, LeBron, whoever like is 35 and over is gonna come over and help this team go somewhere. KD's not bringing the championship to Houston. I think, do they need a scorer? Do they need a scorer? Yeah. But I'm along the lines of thinking like, yo, we got to find somebody that's a younger scorer that's going to be able to do that instead of bringing in OG KD. Because when that happens, you're basically going to blow up your team. And I mean, I'm one of those people, and like, again, I know I'm in a minority, but I'm one of those people. If you got a good core with you, just make sure that the core that you have know where to grow in the areas that they need to grow. I don't think KD is going to bring Houston a title. I don't even think he's going to bring them close to a title. I think they'll be in a similar position now next year with whoever's there, and it's still not going to bring them a championship. But that's just me.
If this roster that they have right now, if you took Jalen Green off there and put Kevin Durant, you don't think they'd beat the Warriors in this series?
No.
Okay.
My only thing about Houston, and the reason I think that they probably need to make a deal is because they have too many pieces. Like they literally have, like, I don't even know what Reed Shepard was what, 3rd pick in the draft? I swear to God, I never seen him hoop.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him.
I never seen him hoop. Cam Whitmore would be a great young piece for a bunch of teams. He can't even get on the court. So the only reason I think Houston should probably, quote unquote, should make a deal, like the right deal, is because they literally have too many pieces. Jabari Green,
I'm with you.
He can't even get on the court. He was the 2nd pick in the 2nd, 3rd pick in the draft. He can't even get on the court. He can play, but he can't even get on the court. But I would probably try it for Devin Booker. Like, I think if you put Devin Booker,
that makes sense.
Green,
that's what I was about to say.
We done some shit. Kevin Durant, because of the position he plays, how he plays. I mean, I know we look at KD as a scorer. Is he even a scorer anymore, or do we just put up points? It's a real question.
That's a good question.
Like,
look at us agreeing, Pav. Look at us agreeing.
Like, is he even a scorer? Or does he just literally just put up points? Or if you want to call on Giannis and you want to do a Şengün thing, Şengün, okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Like, it's Giannis, whatever, cool. He can pass the ball. He kind of do what Şengün do a little bit, especially the fact that you give Şengün the ball 26 feet away from the rim and you want to have him fucking back down from the free throw line anyway. So, okay, you want to do that and go get Giannis, cool. But KD, I'm not the biggest component of KD for anyone personally, for real. Unless you just want like a mercenary. Like if you, I don't know, the Clippers.
Well, KD is the mercenary now. He's
like if you the Clippers and you can figure it out, fuck it. But for Houston,
that's actually a very perfect segue to our next topic: the Los Angeles Clippers, who clipped once again, man. Past boy, Mr. James Harden. And I just want to say this. First of all, it was always blasphemous.
Real quick. I want to say about Harden. I don't think he played as bad as people. Now, granted, in Game 7.
I knew you was gonna
wait. The other games leading up to that sucked, but I don't think he played as bad as he played in Game 7. I think it was a total team failure more than it was Harden played bad. He did have 13 assists. Granted, I know you don't just pay him to pass the ball; you pay him to score as well. But I don't think it was. But like, they was in there taking fucking practice shots mid Game 7, bro. Like Christian Braun, I don't think attempted one contested three the entire night.
He did, but this is the thing too. But this is a problem, Harden. Let's look at Harden's Game 7 stats for us. So in Game 7 this week, he had 7 points. He had 13 assists, 7 points. He was 2 from the field, 1 4 from 3. His last 2 Game 7 is when he had 9 points in Boston. The one before that, he had 22 points against Milwaukee. One before that, he had 17 against OKC. His best was against Golden State. And I don't know how many of this was actual garbage time. He had 32 points, 31 Clippers, and 17. He's averaged 19.3 points and 7.9 assists, 5.7 rebounds, 7 career Game 7s. That is not going to cut it. And Orlando, I think you hit the nail on the head. Harden is NBA Aaron Judge. He puts up good offensive numbers, but when the playoffs start, he's not the same man. And I'm not even putting all the blame on Harden for why they lost. I feel like there's a lot of reasons why they lost this game. Kawhi, even though he was healthy, Kawhi to me still ain't look like Kawhi for the full time. And I honestly think that part of him is actually gone. I don't think we're ever going to see Kawhi how we used to see him consistently. We have flashes of Kawhi, but also, too, at the end of the day, man, the Nuggets are just a better team. And this is why I didn't pick the Clippers. A lot of people say, oh, they're playing great. They're playing great. They're going to the Western Conference Finals. I had to see it. And that's exactly what happened this time. You had one quarter where it was competitive. That game was over mid-second quarter, man. So it's not all on Harden, but when you are former MVP and you got people saying, oh, he's better than Dwayne Wade, which is always blasphemous. I'm not trying to hit none of this. That's how I feel about his performance right there. It's not gonna cut it, and it's another Clipper performance, man. Another classic Clipper performance. Bang, what's your thoughts on Saturday's Game 7?
There was a video that I did in 2019 where I said, caveat here, superstars, that James Harden was the worst superstar ever. I did this in 2016, and every time James Harden does James Harden Game 7 shit, that video gets shared. That video got shared again. Like I was hosting an event, and as soon as I saw the score, I said, God damn, and I hit Mike B. Shouts out to Mike B. I said, share the video. He said, I'm already on it. Like every time. James Harden is the most untrustworthy nigga in these moments I've ever seen in my life. And when I did that video 9 years ago, I meant it then, because I'm like, I don't think that James Harden is ever going to get to where he needs to get or should be. Like when we talk about James Harden, this should not be the conversation. James Harden should be, especially when you're talking about who's the better two, him or Dwayne Wade and all of that stuff. James Harden should not be in the conversations that he's in. But for some strange reason, this dude shits the bed, not wet it. He shits the bed in these moments. And I have no idea why, because the talent don't match what we've seen in Game 7s. With that being said, I also said last week that it looks like Kawhi's out here playing hurt or something's going on. He woke and it looked like it hurt. He run, it looks like it hurt. He looked clueless on that sideline at one point. Ty Lue, he's been out coaching Lil Adelman, but Game 7, he was nowhere to be found, and neither was Jeff Van Gundy. That team found the worst moment to do what they did. It don't even give me that much faith in the Denver Nuggets the way that they shit the bed. But the Clippers go clip.
Clippers gonna clip, says Kawhi is playing on one knee. Kawhi's been playing on one knee for.
No, like the Clippers should have won the series, bro. Like if you like,
yes,
look at, yeah, they should. They lost series. I'm being real, G. They lost series when they lost Game 4. Like honestly,
they should have probably won 4-1.
Yeah.
Like they probably should have won like 1-4-1. They literally found ways to give up the series. And it shouldn't have even got to game 7. And when you get to game 7 in Denver, you know, shit can happen in like a 1-game scenario, which is why you never want to go to game 7. Buddy Hield can score 33 points in a game 7 and you lose.
Right, exactly. And that's with seeing and Jokic had a bad series. Jokic had a very bad series.
Zubac played great. Zubac was probably consistently the best Clipper, but that's the problem. If Zubac is the best Clipper consistently, you're probably going to lose that series. Shout out Zubac. I think Zubac is probably a maybe top 10, top 15 starting center in the league. But if Zubac is going to consistently be your best player for most of those games, you're probably going to lose that series.
And Norman Powell didn't show up a lot too. You know, it's just, by the way, Norman Powell's a wild name for a nigga born in like 94. Like that's definitely civil rights era ass name. Like that nigga was definitely marching with Dr. King. You know what I'm saying?
At Selma.
Like, at Selma, you know what I'm saying? He got the all of that. But
he's somebody great uncle. That's what he's somebody great uncle now.
Uncle Norman.
That man been a great uncle since 1996.
Yeah, Uncle Norman. Go play with your Uncle Norman. The second round did start yesterday. We had the Indiana Pacers on the road taking on the number 1 seeded Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I said on the show on Friday, do not sleep on these Pacers. The Pacers have been one of the best teams in basketball since January. They started off real rough in the beginning of the NBA season, but they played really, really great basketball. This is a team that last year, people forget, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is a team that won a game 7 on the road in Madison Square Garden, and this team is better this year. And I said this is going to be a long series. Now, I did pick Cavs in 7. I'm not going to move way off that, even though with what's they called? Kenny Atkinson said today about Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and DeAndre Hunter probably not playing in game 2.
All of them not playing in game 2?
He said he doesn't feel good about them playing in game 2. So I know what happened to DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter got run over. I don't know what happened to Evan Mobley. I probably missed that. Yeah, okay. So he said, Kenny Atkinson said today, who might be Coach Hill today, announcing that today, that he doesn't feel good about them playing on Wednesday in game 2. So if they don't play, this might be a 5-game series right here. But I love what the Pacers doing. They won 121-112. This is a game that went down to the wire. Even though Donovan Mitchell had over 30 points, it wasn't the usual Donovan Mitchell game for me. He went 13-30. Now, that still is about 48%.
Yes, it was.
That
was the usual Donovan Mitchell game. Yes, it was.
No, I mean, not shooting-wise, but it didn't feel like he had control of it, is what I mean. Like, it didn't
feel like Donovan Mitchell game.
No, I've seen.
Only thing he didn't do was make more threes. That was a usual Donovan Mitchell game.
Well, okay, yeah, but it just didn't feel like they had playing catch up the entire time. They didn't really know what they were doing. But you gotta look at Tyrese Halliburton. He's really taking the overrated thing personal, which he should. There's a lot of niggas in the NBA are worse than Tyrese Halliburton. If we do an overrated list, that nigga's not.
I was out yesterday. And somebody told me Andrew Nimhart was better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay,
I was like,
niggas just don't like Halliburton.
And I was like, all right, bro.
Yeah, people just don't like. Look,
all right, bro.
Look, Tyrese Halliburton is a lame. If you want to say he a lame, say he a lame. He a lame. He a L7 ass nigga. But boy can hoop. I don't think, and we got a shirt as some dude overrated don't mean whack. And it does not. So I always have that caveat that overrated does not mean whack. It just means that this person ain't as good as the media says they are. It ain't Tyrese Halliburton. NBA players just don't like him because they think he's lame. Simple as that.
And he went on IG Live like 4 a.m. giving a thank you video to 50 Cent. Thank you, Fifth, my brother. First of all, nigga said Fifth. Fifth with the TH. I've never heard anybody call 50 Cent that. Fifth. But he had 22 points, 13 assists. Pascal Siakam put in 17 points, 8 rebounds. Aaron Nesmith put in 17 points, 8 rebounds. Miles Turner had a double-double. Good production off the bench. Real overall good game for this team, man. I wasn't worried about the Cavaliers before I heard the stuff that Kenny Atkinson said this morning. Now that I'm hearing that, I'm officially worried. And this series, to me, could be over. But even if they are playing, this is a team that the Cavs got to come correct with. And while I was always kind of wary of the Cavs and how great their record has been, I want to see them do it. Not saying that they can't do it. I'm not going to switch my pick last minute, but it's looking spooky. That was a massive win for the Pacers last night.
Fuck you talking about?
Yes, I have no shame. What do you switch it to?
Oh, I'm switching my shit to Indiana in 6. Look, I based my pick on the fact that Garland was the only person that was hurt, but like hurt enough not to play, but still. Now you hear everything that you hearing, and you got a team with a point to prove. Excuse me, I'm changing my pick. Cavaliers in 6. Pacers in 6. Matter of fact, I would like to apologize for the Indiana Pacers. Apologize to Market Square Arena, whatever the name of the stadium is now, in the state of Indiana, Indianapolis, Evansville, Fort Wayne. I would like to apologize to my station in Indianapolis, Radio 1 DC. I like to apologize to everybody in Indianapolis. I like to apologize to the Klan at this point, since they was born in that.
Oh, that's crazy.
I want to apologize to everybody in Indianapolis because, man, I also took y'all for granted too. But this also gonna make it an easy series, easy road to the finals for the Boston Celtics. But still, my bad, Pacers. Y'all got it. Y'all win in 6.
The NBA Eastern Conference is the Boston Celtics invitation.
I do want to say, I don't think they'll shoot like the way they shot yesterday every game.
They
shot about 52% from 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
And like 53% from the field. At the same time, Cleveland got to go guard them. Because a lot of them shots wasn't even like contested shots. They were like very open looks. I also think Siakam will play better than what he played yesterday. I don't think Siakam played that well yesterday. So there are a couple things that I think will even out. But if Evan Mobley not going to be healthy, Garland already dealing with the big toe. DeAndre Hunter is probably his wrist when he got knocked out. Yeah, when Mathurin blocked him to hell. If they not gonna be on the court,
cancel Christmas,
brother. I'm sorry. Even if Garland can't play, they need Garland. Yeah. Sam Merrill in the starting lineup and Ty Jerome playing on the bench ain't gonna get it done, brother. They need Darius Garland in this series. But also, even if Darius Garland does come back, who finna guard Halliburton?
Exactly.
Like it's not like this backcourt is like, the most that has the most defensive prowess. Like it's not like we talking about Boston and you got Drew Holiday and Derek White. Hallie can kind of have his way against this backcourt. And you want to talk about most overrated players? The guy on the screen for the Cleveland Cavaliers is one of them.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan. But people talk about Donovan Mitchell like he Devin Booker.
Donovan Mitchell is we got Dwayne Wade at home. Like remember when you was a little kid and you wanted McDonald's, your mom be like, we got McDonald's at home. That Donovan Mitchell is we got Dwayne Wade at home. Like that's exactly
hilarious.
Because he like the way he moves is like D-Wade-esque, but his game is not D-Wade-esque. So I'm with you on that one.
He's also not as athletic as he once was coming into.
Oh yeah. You
can clearly
see with Utah.
You can clearly see the decline in his athletic ability.
And I even shoot the Pacers this too, even though they lost in 5 last year to the Celtics. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. So, not to say that the Celtics were lost. The Celtics still would have won.
Those games were also closer to what people.
Yeah, right. All the games were close.
They were very, very, very close games, and they lost them at the end.
Yeah, I think Tyrese got hurt in game 1, or did he get hurt in game 7 against the Knicks? Whichever was, he wasn't 100%. And so I really like this team. I really don't give Rick Carlisle enough credit for as long as he's been coaching and how good of a coach he is. So yeah, much love to the Pacers. And I actually, fun fact, I lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana for 2 years while my dad was going to school. So I lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana for 2 years. There's nothing to do out there but watch their a nice minor league team. I don't know if it's still a minor league team anymore, but at the time, the Fort Wayne Wizards, that they had a game, it'd be cracking.
That's the first place I saw a funnel cloud. I thought I was gonna die.
Oh yeah, the tornadoes out there are real. They real.
I thought I was going. I'm talking about. I forgot what grocery store it was at. I looked at my cousin. I said, "Yo, why is that cloud so low?" They was like, "Oh, get the hell in the car." Yeah. Like, whoa. Yeah, I thought I was gonna die in Fort Wayne.
Shout out Fort Wayne. And the first time I've been to a white person's barbecue, and I realized that they actually pretty good at it. Like white people barbecues. Yeah, right. And white people barbecues are like top notch, low key.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in London and like they pulled out a grill and I'm like, this shit gonna suck. It did not suck.
Oh, they grill in London? Oh, that's
Who you think created it?
And yeah, but it's just when I think grilling, I think of America.
I think black people too.
Yeah.
I think America and also black people. Now they pulled out a grill. They pulled out a grill with some chicken. They made some actual barbecue chicken.
Also, another thing I learned by the way, white people make the best Rice Krispie treats. Like we had this neighbor, I forgot her name, older white lady. She would always make us like Rice Krispie treats. Like this is nigga when Sega Genesis was there. I had a Sega. And they were just made to the point where I don't eat Rice Krispie treats that ain't made by white people. And number 3, the NASCAR Indiana, the Indy 500 is like Super Bowl week. And like they shut it down. Like I've been to more parties than I can count. That's how I know. That's how I knew who Jeff Gordon was. They earned her all that. But yeah, shout out to the Fort Wayne, Indiana. But let's move on to the other second round series. Now, me and Bang already gave our predictions for Knicks and Celtics, which is the first game tonight in the doubleheader. I said Knicks. I said Celtics in 5. Bang said Celtics in the sweep. Pat, how do you see this series going?
Man, they gonna whoop their ass, as in Boston. If you give Jaylen Brown the ball and you just run the do his ass offense, which is what they was running against Indy, which is what they were running against the Pistons, they gonna lose that series, bro. They losing in like 5 games. I ain't even gonna lie to you, unless somebody on Boston get hurt or something like that, and they find a way to extend the series. They losing that series in like 5 games, bro. But they don't have to lose the series in 5 games. But it's the way that they play. Like they give the ball to Brunson and let him dribble like the rest of the team can't play. You got OG, you got Mikal, you got Cat. You don't have to live your life like that. But that's the way they want to live their life. And since that's the way they want to live their life, since that's what I've seen from them, they losing that series. Unless, is Drew playing tonight? Is Drew healthy yet?
I haven't heard anything about him not playing. Let me check underdog.
My only thing is if Drew or something like that like isn't healthy, he still can't play, then okay, maybe we get like a 6-game series. Other than that, no, 5.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on Drew. Is it like a real bad injury? They just sat him
hamstring. I think it was
hamstring. Yes. Okay. Oh, Drew Holiday is warming up right now. Now that don't mean he's gonna play.
That don't mean he's gonna play. But fair.
Yeah,
fair.
He's. But honestly, you don't really need Drew, for for this series. But anyway, yeah. So let's go on to the other series. We got tonight. Game 1 of the MVP battle between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic. Pretty sure Shai will be named MVP this week. I think they announced it. This is a series to me. They went 2-2 in a regular season. I don't want to be fooled by the Nuggets performance just because they played the Clippers. But I also don't feel like Jokic is going to get back to being Jokic because he ain't got to worry about Zubac, running up and down the court with him. I like Chet. Chet ain't going to do nothing to Jokic. I'm sorry. And I still don't like the depth on this Nuggets team. I'm going to pick the Thunder because the Thunder are my West Coast pick, my West Conference pick. I'm struggling with the games. I want to say 7, but I'm going to say Thunder in 6. I think that the Thunder, despite what everybody says about, who's going to be the second option, I think this is one of those group teams that is going to work well, and their biggest threat, even though the Lakers got eliminated, I feel like matchup-wise, the Lakers were a nightmare matchup for them. With them being out, I feel like this should be their conference to lose. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to – I know Jamal Murray's gotten better, but Jamal Murray's going to have a hard time with this nigga. I think this is going to be a really good series. I think Jokic is going to get his, but I'm going to go Thunder in 6 just because of how deep, and I feel like they have the better coach as well. Adelman, I think, has done well for the first series. First series, he's coached as a coach, but I think you're going to really see the difference between the coaching styles here and also home court advantage, man. And the Thunder aren't going to make the mistakes that the Los Angeles Clippers made. So I'm going to go Thunder in 6. Pav, how you got this one going?
Jamal Murray's going to get hog-tied, probably. Jokic is going to probably average close to a triple-double just because of the fact I think he'll be happy to not see Zubac. I think he'll be very happy to see Hartenstein and Chet and not be seeing Zubac getting night after night. I think Aaron Gordon can have a good impact just because I think that the Thunder don't really have really good wing defenders. But if you're a guard, God bless. But if you're like a bigger wing, I think that you can make an impact. I also really worry about Michael Porter's shoulder. It said the man even need help taking his jersey off post game because he can't lift his arm. So I'm really worried about his shoulder, and I'm with you. I think the just OKC can literally put in 8-9 guys and feel comfortable about it. I think Denver can go 6 maybe and literally feel comfortable about it, which is Russ is the guy out the business they can literally feel comfortable about. So I'm gonna go Thunder in 6. I think Jokic can probably get you 2 games just off the fact of like there'll probably be a game where he'll go 30, 10, and 10, and you'll probably end up winning that game. They're gonna lose tomorrow, probably. I would assume just because your series ends, you gotta travel. It's tough. But yeah, I'm gonna go Thunder in 6, maybe 5.
Yeah, to me, tomorrow is a not tomorrow, but tonight. They play tonight. Tonight is definitely a loss for the Nuggets. The niggas just had a game 7. Bang, what you think? How you got the series going?
Nuggets game 1. OKC got the rest. Thunder and Finn. Yeah, Jim and Sweet. Thunder for the Finn. Thunder's been off for a little bit. So, this is the game you got to catch them. This is the game where you catch them off guard and everything. But after that, once the sea legs is there, you cancel Christmas. OKC Western Conference Finals, go ahead and stamp that.
Well, this next series is the one I'm looking forward to the most. We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Golden State Warriors. The Timberwolves with the 6th seed, they have home court advantage. I wonder what was the last time we've had a 6 versus 7 series. Like this, rarely ever happened.
3 times in NBA history.
Okay, thank you for the stat. I was looking for the stat. 3 times in the 70-plus year history of this league. This is an interesting series to me because I think the Warriors, what's going to mess them up is now games every other day. Steph, his thumb isn't going to be getting any better. We see that's a problem. We see after every play, it's like he's holding it. He's definitely in pain. And obviously, I'm not comparing my thumb to Steph Curry. Vontae in the chat says it was 2 years ago with Warriors and Lakers in the second round. Now, was that 6-7? I could have sworn the Lakers, weren't the Lakers like 3rd seed that year?
Nah, they was probably 6-7.
Okay, well, yeah. 6-7. Thanks for the giving us that stat, Vontae. But yeah, this to me is like I'm not comparing myself to Steph Curry, obviously, but I remember one time I destroyed my thumb, actually trying to move a table out of my apartment, and it did not work well. And my thumb, it swelled up and it was just throbbing. Now I can't imagine trying to palm a basketball and try to shoot. So I can only imagine the pain that Steph is going through. So that's going to be an issue, but they still have that veteran presence. Okay, so we got Vontae said Lakers 7 seed, Warriors 6 seed. Lakers beat Grizzlies and Warriors. Oh, you're right. But I'm gonna go Wolves. I can see it going 7, but I'm gonna say Wolves in 6. I think there's so many good storylines in the series. You got Anthony Edwards, who's becoming the new Randy Orton, legend killer. Can he take out another one of his basketball legends, another member of the Olympic team he was on? Took out KD last year, took out LeBron this year. Now he's aiming for Steph. Can he do that again and make his way back to a Western Conference final? You got Jimmy Butler returning to Minnesota where he played. And then you also got Draymond Green versus Draymond Green versus Rudy Gobert, which we just bring Eric Bischoff out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just bring Eric Bischoff out. This is going to be some WWF type stuff, but I think it's going to be a very competitive series. Wouldn't that surprise me if the Warriors were able to find a way to win? But I think with the schedule and honestly, this round against, the Lakers, Anthony Edwards really didn't play that well. Like, he had a game where he had 43 points, but statistically, he didn't play that well. The closing game, he was terrible 3-point. This is going to be a series where the mistakes that they made against the Lakers, they can't make against this team. And can Rudy Gobert keep his head in the game and not let Draymond take him out? Those are going to be the little storylines right there. But I'm going to go Wolves in 6, and they'll move on to the West Conference Finals for the second year in a row. Pav, how you got the series going?
I'm gonna go Wolves in 6. A lot of it is because I want Wolves in 6. Like I'm kind of tired of the old guys. Like I kind of want new people. I'm tired of watching them, bro. Like I kind of really just want new people in these situations and new people to, and just more interested in newer matchups that we haven't seen. I think like a OKC Wolves matchup would be great. Should even the Nuggets, like a return to Nuggets Wolves, I think would also be great. But also, I think they might have a little bit of trouble with Ant. But again, I think the key to every series with the Wolves is Julius Randle. Like Randle has been better this year. In the Lakers series, he was great. In the closeout game, he was great. So for really my real key in this series is Julius Randle, bro. If Julius Randle could come out there and play the way he played against the Lakers, especially defensively, because he's gonna have to guard. If he can come out there and play the way he played against the Lakers, I think they got a really good shot. So I'm gonna go Wolves in 6. And also the rebounding battle, right? Like I think one of the main things against the Warriors that you saw was they got out rebounded a lot, like a whole lot. So if Rudy can come out there and play the way when he finally realized, oh shit, I'm 7 to rebound and get every tip back. If he can do that, if Nas Reed can come in and get some boards, if Randall can be a force, if Ant can get downhill and get to the paint, I'm going Wolves in 6.
Bang, how you got this one going?
For historic purposes, I would love for the Golden State Warriors to win in 7 because it will turn the NBA in how we look at the NBA, how we looked at the NBA for the last 20 years. It would do that. Wolves in 5. I don't think we get game 6 out of this. The Warriors, already as old as they are, expounded a lot of energy in getting to where they're at right now. You have a different Ant. You have a hungry Ant. You have a thirsty Ant. You have an Ant that right now, I think Randy Orton is the best example, the best analogy crazy for this kid.
And
he talking crazy.
Yeah.
Like if
he told
those
Bron, congratulate my motherfucking teammate.
Right. Like for those who are wrestling fans, for those who listen to this or watch this show and listen to First Black Champ or watch First Black Champ, Anthony Edwards is Randy Orton legend killer.
Yep.
He's Randy Orton when he gave Jake the Snake Roberts the RKO.
When he pushed Mick Foley down the stairs.
When he pushed Mick Foley down the stairs. He's not running into The Undertaker, ladies and gentlemen. There's not an old head he's going to run into that's going to put him down like The Undertaker did. No. He is Randy Orton, legend killer, and Steph is about to feel a brunt of this. Draymond, I think if we thought he went in on the kill for Bron, oh my God, you can only imagine what he's going to do with the Golden State Warriors off of the strength of Steve Kerr told this man to his face, if we got the number 1 pick, we ain't drafting you.
Yeah, he did tell him that shit.
The motivation that man has to go up against Steve Kerr and to put the final nail in the coffin of the Warriors' legacy, dynasty, all of that. Oh no, man. To keep it a buck, I'd be shocked and surprised if the Warriors get a game. That's how much.
Hey, now you're gonna get swept.
Listen to me. I'm telling you now. The fact of the matter is this dude's different. And this is how these dynasties fall. Rihanna's pregnant again.
Hey, that's that. I'm not going to jail, baby. Shout out to A$AP Rocky. And he got a movie coming out with Denzel. Haul him back on top.
Yeah, my team just sent me a video. It looks like she popped. Oh yeah, she hella popped. Yeah, she hiding that shit good. Yeah, she popped again. Damn. So I know it would be sacrilege to say that Steph and them gonna get swept. But what did I tell y'all about the Lakers series? The Wolves got what? And the Lakers don't got what? Dogs. This is about ant and dogs. And the best player on the court is the biggest dog. I think they gonna run through these boys. It was
Warriors got some dogs. They just some old dogs. They got some dogs.
That ain't hey, Pav, what you just say? You say you don't want to see what no more?
You want to see the old niggas?
Old guys no more.
Hey, and about to put these old dudes down. I'm telling you. And Rudy got something to prove. If Randall got something to prove, this dude got told by the coach that we wouldn't draft you if that was the case. I'm telling you. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that I would not be shocked or surprised if the Golden State Warriors get swept because that dude is on a mission. He trying to get these old niggas the fuck up out of here.
I just want to say, even though Steph is one of my top 5 favorite players of all time, I am rooting for Anthony Edwards in this series.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why he's different. I knew this nigga was different. Did y'all see what he talked to Barack Obama on that Quarter Gold documentary?
No, man. I mean, I was 8 when that shit. I don't give no fuck.
He told Barack Obama to fall back. He told the first black president in the history of this country, hey, man, fall back. I was waiting for Secret Service to tackle this nigga. Like, he does not care. And like you said, Bane, like, he is foaming from the mouth. And I really want to see the legend killer thing keep going because it's a cool storyline to me. And then when he said, oh, I can't, remember he said before, I want to play LeBron. I feel like that'd be not cold to knock LeBron off. Then he said, oh, I love to play Draymond. Draymond talk a lot. That's why it's going to be a good one. So, and Pat, to your theory, if you want to see the old heads get knocked out, to me, this is the proper way. This is the passing of the torch. Love KD, but they lost. Nobody had Phoenix really doing anything last year. Let's just be real. Knocking off the 2 biggest, the faces of the league for the last 15, 20 years with LeBron and Steph Curry. That's something. Now, having said all that, you can't go out here and lose. You can't knock out both of these niggas and lose next round. You got to go all the way. So I'm rooting for them to get it done. I don't know if it's going to be 4 or 5. That would shock me if they went out like that. But I do believe this series is going to – I do believe
niggas old, Scott.
They old. I get you. I get
Wait
you.
Wait a minute. They old and just went 7. They old and just went 7.
And that's why I'm picking Minnesota to win. That's why I'm picking Minnesota.
They old and just went 7, man. Them boys about to get them the fuck up out of here.
So Ant told Brian to get that tour together. Yeah, he definitely did. That's all we got NBA wise today, man. Pav, man, let them know where they can find your album, man. Everything you got going on, man, and then we'll get you out of here.
Yeah, man, you can find my album everywhere you want to stream some music at. So that's anywhere you want to stream some music at. Or you can go to pavers.com and find it there. Just type in Pavy, Bachelor Dur, and it'll come up. So I hope you guys play. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, man, thanks for having me.
All right, Pav, we'll holler at you. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break. We back with the local hour on the other side. Bears got rookie minicamp kicking off this weekend. Your boy will be there for day 1. Should Kmet be counting his days with the drafting of Costa and Loveland? Should Bears fans practice patience with this upcoming season? We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and Courtney will be joining us in hour 2 as well. We'll be right back. I'm not going to hold you.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, I hate his old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
And we back, ladies and gentlemen, hour 2 here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Your boy Scott here with JR Bang as we get y'all ready for the local hour here, man. We got some stuff to talk, man. Here on the show. There we go.
It is the local hour.
There we go. Local hour sponsored by Sockman on 87. The Bears are getting back on the field where they've been on the field the last couple of weeks doing, off-season training and things like that. Very, very light workouts. Ben Johnson starting to implement his system and really be able to get into actual strategy with his new players. We've even heard that, Caleb been studying this playbook since March, I heard. So good for that. But Bears kick off rookie camp, which is the first of, I say, 4 parts before the season starts. You got rookie camp. Well, first of 5. This is phase 2. So we already had OTAs going on, rookie mini camp. Next month, we got mandatory mini camp at the end of June. And then we finally got training camp in July. It's going to be here before we know it. This is my thing. So it's all weekend. I will only be there on Friday. They will be speaking to Ben Johnson. We'll be speaking to Colston Loveland. We'll be speaking to who's the Bird in the third. It's going to be, we can only watch some practice. So we're not like I'm gonna be able to see everything, but we're able to see how they look out there and, things like that. What I'm looking for this is really, I want to know, I'm really just looking at it from the Ben Johnson side. What are some of the stories we're going to be hearing about his first camp? And then the things that are leading to actual training camp, where we're going to actually see what this team is going to be about. So I'm just really interested to see the first year coach, the prize coach, begin the on-field implementation and starting it with the rooks and see some of those out there. Bang, what are you trying to see? Now, granted, this rookie minicamp is not the biggest thing, but what are you looking to hear about, if anything?
Competition. Like, even though it ain't gonna be no vets there, it's all rookies. I want to hear the potential about competition when we get to OTAs and then the training camp. Hearing a lot of stuff about the Frazier kid, the corner, and how Al Harris is the one who put Pose on to him. So what could that mean? What could that mean about Tyreek Stevenson? Remember, I had said a couple of weeks ago when you was about to kill me. I had said a couple of weeks ago that if they were to get a cornerback, especially if they were to get, like, say, a Will Johnson, who also dropped too because of knee issues, but if they were to get a corner, especially early, what would that mean for Tyreek? Would you be looking at things a little bit funny? While we didn't go early in the draft at corner, now you hearing that Harris is the one who put Frazier on to Pose, and we end up getting him. That means that they hold him in some type of regard that could challenge that room, even though they do need some help. Well, again, what does that mean for Tyreek Stevenson? What does that mean for what does it mean for Cole Kmet if Colson's going to be there, even though Colson's not going to be activated in time to, he's not going to be doing anything.
They said till July.
Camp. Yeah. So there's that piece. What that offensive line look like? What does Otto look like? Like, could we see some glimpses that would mean, possibility of him sliding over to the left side while Braxton Jones just continues to get healthy? I'm looking for what all of this bodes for, what this bodes for competition. And do we have people that they feel that can push people, even with Burden? Like, what does he look like on that field? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and most important thing is Ben Johnson said, look, there's not going to be any depth charts, obviously, outside of the Caleb Williams, the DJ Morris, but he said, I want to see what you're going to do outside the ball. So I really, this is Ben Johnson's draft. Like, obviously Ryan Poles is general manager. He's the one who drafted him, but this has been Johnson's draft. These are his guys. These are going to be the guys that we're going to be judging him off, his talent eyes a couple years going on from here towards, in his Bears career. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to be on Friday. I will be doing a recap video on Friday. That'll be all on socials. I'll, maybe put a little bit on here as well. So look out for that day one rookie minicamp, man. So yeah. Let's talk about Colston Loveland, because him being drafted, I'm gonna go back to something I've been saying since Ben Johnson has been hired. Well, I said, not saying it's gonna happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if Cole Kmet is on his last days at the Chicago Bears. And I did think it was very interesting with them going tight end in the first round with Cole Kmet. Now, I want to say this about Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is a damn good tight end. I'm not going to sit up here talk about this man like he's some bum. He is a solid tight end, good tight end. That's all he is. I don't want to call him a 40-degree day because he's not a 40-degree day. He's more like a 50-degree day. 50-degree day outside, throw a little hoodie on, you know what I'm saying? You could throw at least one patty or two on the grill. It's not quite 60 yet, but you ain't got to throw no coat on. That's what Cole Kmet is. Colston Loveland might be a good 75 to 80-degree day. We got to see. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year. Like, Colston Loveland will have to have the training camps of all training camps for that to happen. And even then, even if he did, maybe they would just make him the starter. But I do think there is a great chance that by this time next year, he won't be on this team because Colston Loveland had such a great rookie season. I'm not 100% sure if Cole Kmet fits this system and fits the scheme of Ben Johnson. And it's nothing to do with him being a bad player or not. I just don't know if it's a fit. There's a lot of speed in Ben Johnson's system. Cole Kmet run like me. We might have the same 40 time. So that's what my concern is for him. And I don't think this man is officially on the watch. That's what I'm going to be looking forward to see what that's going to be like. Bane, do you think that Cole Kmet should be walking on eggshells?
Not now. Not now. Because if they play this similar to how the New England Patriots did things, because both Gronk and Hernandez would have been there if Hernandez wasn't a bow. You know what I'm saying? However, at the money that Cole Kmet is probably going to want to have later on down the line, I could see changes being made. So not now. I think Cole is good, but in probably next year or the year after, maybe there's a situation where we're gonna move on and we're gonna find somebody else to take over that second TE. But you need two good TDs right now.
Yeah, that is true. And he's definitely gonna run a 2 tight end set. But I will say less podcast and more playing, Cole. I will say that for this season.
Cole will definitely take that man job at CHGO Sports too. Hey,
I don't know what man you talking about.
It'll be Cole and Greg Braggs Jr.
Cole and Braggs coming soon.
Friend of the program. Yeah.
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
Moving right along. Right in the chat. Moving right along. Should Bears fans practice patience when it comes to this season? And we talked about on Friday about, no excuses for Caleb. He's got the head coach that he wants. You got DJ Moore, obviously. You got Roma Dunze. You got DeAndre Swift. You got a whole new rebuilt offensive line going on. You got you a tight end. You got there's options everywhere for Caleb. And our guy Pierce, co-owner of this great company, Barber Network, said that we need to be cautious coming into the season. It's going to take a minute for Ben Johnson's system to go in, and it's a very hard schedule. I'm usually not one of those strength. Orlando, you hilarious for that. But I'm usually not one of those strength of schedule guys. But I will say this: just looking off the 6 division games we got, which obviously those are going to be hard. Just take 6 and then take the other 2 road games at Baltimore, at Philly. Even if you just go off those 8, that's almost half the schedule, more than half the schedule. It's going to be hard. So I'm not expecting this offense to come out and be guns a-blazing right away. In fact, I am praying to the football gods, please do not send us to Philadelphia for week 1. If send Washington and Jaden Daniels, all them niggas, give us a rematch in the NFC Championship game. Don't send us to Philadelphia. I don't want to get blown out on national TV while these niggas is getting their rings and their banners. No, I do not want that. But the question is this, man. You know about Bears fans just as well as I know. Do you think Bears fans are trying to hit it? Do you think there's going to be an expectation for this offense to come out and score 30 points week 1 and look like a well-oiled machine by the end of right away for this thing?
Man, look, Bears fans, chill the fuck out. All right? Like dead ass, chill the fuck out. Of course, there needs to be patience. Of course, Bears fans need to exercise patience. It's a lot of weapons, and you got to make sure that you have the plan in place to make sure that the weapons are used and used correctly. It's Caleb's second year. Yes. But that patience better run out by week 10.
Or at least show up by week
10. I give it week 10. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have some... Look, I've said it. I think you said it too. Because of the way the preseason is right now, the first four games of the season is the preseason nowadays. So let's just take those games out there right there, right? The first 4 games of the year. All right. So now we in week 5, right? You should start hitting your stride. By week 10, we will know that this is one of the better offenses in the league. Ben Johnson did this, yada, yada, yada. That's when it should be hitting on all cylinders. And why do I say week 10 also? Because that would be the perfect time for the offense to be running on all cylinders, because you finish the back half of the season and probably hopefully go into those December, January games playing for playoff spots or already being in the playoffs. I don't want them to blow their load at the beginning of the season and then people start game planning and then they make some changes and then next thing you know, shit's fucked up. No. Week 10 in 2025, they should be hitting all cylinders, getting ready to go into the back half of the year. And then from there, not only will we know if it is the case, we're going to be in a situation where we're going into the back half of the year on fire. That's what I want.
You say week 10. I'm talking about practicing patience. I need to see at least decent signs by week 6. Like
No, week 10. No. Week 10 is hitting on all cylinders.
Oh, I give you. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
week 10 is hitting on all cylinders because Bears fans ain't no progress. Niggas want to go 0 to 60. No, the first 4 games is the preseason. After that, you should start seeing them build. By week 10, it is the training wheels are off. We know what offense we got, and we go into the back half of the year on fire. So now we go into that November, December, playing for playoffs. January might be fighting for the last playoff spot or whatever. But by week 10, we should be hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But we all know Bears fans. By week 3. And don't let it be like an early division game. Oh, nigga, don't let it be Detroit. Don't let it be we got an early Detroit game and the offense don't look that good. Oh my God, it's gonna be the end of it. But I'm with you on that one. Bears fans, relax. And Joseph in the chat says it right there. I better see Mina Kimes hyping up our offense by mid-November. Exactly. I need to see all these podcast hands talking about how good the Ben Johnson system looks, man. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all that happens.
Okay, so real quick. Hey, what week do we see Caleb, DJ, and let's say Caleb, DJ, and Rome sitting down for the in-depth interview by like Fox or ESPN?
The Clarissa Thompson interview?
Yeah, when do we see the Clarissa Thompson, Taylor Rooks sit-down interview during the studio show?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say week 5. Week 5. By the way, shout out to our quarterback. I wish I could play this video, but there's a video of that Mikey just sent in the chat of Caleb. This is Los Angeles. Trying to see what venue this is. I don't know what venue this is. Looks like Beverly Hills. He pulled up him and who the nigga that he be coming to the games with? The nigga who's at, I don't know, one of the bench players on the bench. I don't even know the nigga name. They pulled up with about 3-4 bad ones. Shout out to my quarterback. Shout out to my quarterback real quick, man. But
hey, real quick, do you think Caleb pissed off that he didn't have a good year, the year like he wanted to, because he'd be at the Illuminati ball tonight?
Yes, definitely.
We better not see no photos of Jaden Daniels at that motherfucker either. Okay.
I don't want him to be there. I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he's not, man. Shout out to Caleb. But let's get to our last Bears topic before we bring Courtney on. Running back number 2. There's been a lot of rumors. Even some Cleveland Browns reporters have alluded to Nick Chubb going to an NFC North team. Been a lot of questions since the Bears missed out on getting running back in the draft. Are they going to really roll Roschon Johnson? Are they going to roll with the rookie they drafted late in the draft? Or are they going to go out there and get a vet and go out there and get a Nick Chubb? Go over and get a J.K. Dobbins from the Chargers? Or go out there and trade for a Breece Hall? or something like that. What do you think is going to be the strategy for running back 2? Are you fine with giving Roschon Johnson another chance? Because I do notice that Poles kind of, ran the bus over Eberflus and said he wasn't used right last year. Or do you need to see them go out and make a move for running back number 2?
I want to wait till OTAs to answer that question, but I feel like if Ryan Poles says that that Rowe was misused, that means that Ben believes that he was misused. I don't think Poles would have said that without his head coach being aware and telling him that Roschon was misused. Because why would you say it now? If you felt like Rowe was being misused, you should have said that during last season, but you didn't. So I think that Ben Johnson believes that Roschon was misused. So through OTAs, we're gonna kind of get an idea of how they're gonna use him, or if they feel like he could be used in that. I don't want to mess up dude's name, but I do feel like they're high on their 7th round pick, the homie from Rutgers, and everything too. So I think OTAs is going to tell us a lot about what they will do, because Nick Chubb has been rumored to be on the Bears radar. It has been rumored to be on the Bears radar since the draft, and they made no announcements of that yet. So I truly believe that Ben believes that Rowe was misused, and we're gonna find out during OTAs if he still really believes that, and that's when they're gonna pick up or make a trade for somebody.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that Roschon at least gets a shot going into training camp. I think he gets a legit shot. This is somebody who also a Poles pick. Poles wants to give his picks every chance to succeed, and rightfully so. It's his class. He wants to be able to get as many stripes on his name as possible. I do believe that Rowe was used wrong, but I don't think that speed is changing overnight. But unless he's just straight up garbage, I don't see them getting the vet. I like Nick Chubb, but he broke his foot. And he got a lot of other injuries. That's not a guy that I would be out there thinking is reliable. J.K. Dobbins is a good option. There's no way, as much as I like Breece Hall, am I trading assets for a running back, who's been out for a little bit, who's already tore his ACL. I'm all the way straight on that one. But I'm with you. I think that he does have a legitimate shot here, and it's going to be interesting to see what goes on. I really want to see how he's going to use all these different players, because Roschon's not the only player that was used wrong. If I had $1 for every time I saw my man DJ come out the backfield as many times as he did, I'd be a millionaire as many times as I saw. So I think that's going to be something right there that's going to be looked at, going to be one of the battle conversation. Maybe the guy that drafted has a good camp. I don't know, but I definitely think that if they do sign a vet, it's going to be like almost close to the season, maybe with 1 or 2 preseason games left. I can see something like that happening, but not right now, man. We're gonna bring Courtney in. We're gonna bring Courtney in right now to the stage. You can follow her at 1-800 Colobro. She is not only co-host of this show, she is co-host of the High and Outside podcast on this network. Her, Dante, the homie Sid, and I don't want to mess up the other brother's name. What's his name? Go ahead, Courtney. Malik. Shout out to Malik. Yeah, so check it out. But Courtney, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fan-fucking-tastic. How are you guys feeling right now?
I know you are. And you were going through the motions last night, but you were doing good.
Yeah, this was a very, very stressful, exciting weekend to be a hockey fan. As you see, repping the set today.
Repping the set.
It was honestly just so exciting. As a sports fan, you love a game 7, right? Just whatever sport it is, you love a game 7. But as someone who's very closely and deeply entrenched in what happens after the game 7, right? You win, you keep playing, you lose, you go home. I was a little stressed. But there's just nothing like it. It's a privilege regardless, because gosh, what an amazing thing to be a part of. Win or lose. What an amazing thing to be a part of that kind of history, because they don't happen often. They do not happen often.
It does not happen often, especially in hockey. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. Now, Bang had a hockey question for you.
Bang, what's going on? Did you watch Game 7?
I did not watch it.
That's okay.
It was
not
only not on my radar. I was tired. However, the first thing I woke up this morning to was Winnipeg Jets was down like 4 goals or 2 goals and shit, and they end up winning in overtime. How the fuck does this happen?
I mean, there's to a degree, there's a little puck luck that goes into it, right? Like some of the shots that they were able to get off later in the period were definitely lucky. And sometimes that's really all you need is just a little bit of luck. But all that to say, St. Louis wasn't really supposed to be in this position anyway. There is something called the President's Cup curse, though, where the most winningest, the winningest team, does tend to lose. They had the best regular season record, and they do tend to lose. And a lot of people thought that was going to happen to Winnipeg. Connor Hellebuck, who is the goalie for Winnipeg, has been very, very, very bad. But I'm worried that he might be getting his swagger back now after that little confidence booster of winning in double OT last night. So I don't know, man. Hockey is a very weird sport. There is a lot, even for us in that Game 7 on Saturday, there was a lot of luck. We got lucky a few times in that third period. And I honestly think that's how we won.
Here's my question for you. Do you feel better about the Stars' chances or worse than the Stars' chances after last night?
I personally think the most difficult team, and that is no slight to any of the teams that are still in the West, I think the team that the Dallas Stars just played was the most difficult team that they'll face, not even in the West, but in the rest of this playoff period. I think Colorado was by far, like, that didn't deserve to be a first round matchup. I think Colorado was the best team that the Dallas Stars will play in this playoff. That being said, with this Winnipeg matchup, with their incredible goalies, we get a couple of our guys back. They might be losing a couple theirs. Stars in 6.
Stars in 6. What? Because I've been watching some of the games. I haven't had a chance to watch all of it because I only have one TV and one iPad, and I've been basketball and footballed out. I've been watching Premier League and I've been watching NBA playoffs, but I have watched some of these games. I know the Kings game it had early in the first round was crazy, 6-5 overtime thing. What's your thoughts on just this round of hockey to begin with? Like, a lot of people are being introduced to the sport. TNT has done a great job marketing it. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, this has been honestly one of the more exciting first rounds that we've had in the NHL in a really long time. One, just the introduction of teams that haven't necessarily been in a while. Like, we haven't seen Ottawa in the postseason in a while. Now, we're still getting the Edmonton LA matchup. That's been their matchup for like 3 seasons or 4 seasons in a row now. So I know a lot of people are tired of seeing them play each other in the first round, especially when LA keeps getting bounced, when a lot of people thought that this might have been their year to get past Edmonton. But no, it's been super exciting. 2 Game 7s, which again, those don't happen often. We were actually the 199th Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And last night, Winnipeg, St. Louis, they were the 200th ever Game 7. So again, in the entire history of the league, that's only happened now 200 times. Super, super exciting first round. All of the Canadian teams that are still in it. I know that's got to be obviously very exciting for the people who gave us the sport. No, it's been awesome. It's been really, really awesome. And I think the second round is going to be even more exciting.
Definitely, man. We're going to talk some baseball. So that's Bang's cue. He's done for the evening. Bang, anything you want to promote before we get you about it?
First of all, Kenny Atkinson, Coach of the Year.
Okay, he won Coach of the Year. Shout out to Kenny Atkinson.
Yep. Kenny Atkinson, Coach of the Year. No, man. First Black Champ, latest episode just went live. We talk about some of the WWE releases that happened over the weekend. We should have a new episode of some dude out. So no, that's it. I'm about to go bite my wife's ass.
Okay, that was All right, that was a real summer sessions. By the way, summer sessions will be back on this week. So, all right, man, we gonna holler at you.
All right, I'm on my way.
These young kids, so young and in love.
Right, these kids. But let's talk baseball, man. Let's talk about the Chicago Cubs, which I see Orlando wants us to talk about since PCA All-Star season. Yeah, right. See, you give Cub fans niche, they gonna take a whole damn mile. Like they just, I think niggas,
and rightfully so, Scott. I have to give my flowers where they're due. They had an incredible first month of baseball. I think they only played like maybe one team one team so far with a losing record.
Yeah, they've been beating some good teams.
And they fucking went crazy off Paul Skeens. Like, this team has absolutely been a juggernaut. And I got the numbers right here if you'd like me to get right on into it.
Yeah, go. I'll just name their record real quick. 21-14. They are currently number one in the NL Central. Only 3 games up on the Cincinnati Reds, 4 games up on the Brewers. So yeah, hit them with the stats.
Yeah, they have been. Before we get into PCA and just how incredible he's been, it's super important to note that they've been doing it as a team. They have a team batting average of 262, 323 combined team hits, 208 runs scored, 204 total RBI. They are literally averaging a league best 6 runs a game, which is crazy to think about. Again, considering that they have only played winning teams through this first month of the season. They have an on-base percentage of 339 and 45 stolen bases as a team. Obviously, a lot of that does come from some of the faster guys like PCA, who is also having an insane season. He's already amassed 2 B-WAR, 2, I think it's like 2 on Fangraphs, if that's where you like to get your WAR. 37 hits, 10 doubles, a triple, 9 home runs, 26 RBI, 12 stolen bases, and 6 walks. He has been amazing. He's been amazing. And, I know Mets fans probably have to be kicking themselves a little bit right now. That's, when I think about some of the trades that, we make, and I'm thinking about it right now as a Rangers fan and how we gave up Luis Angel Acuna, to get Max Scherzer from the Mets. And, look at how that turned out for us and look at how he's playing for them. You get a little sad when you think about what could have been. And you think about, imagine PCA in a Mets uniform. I know Cubs fans got to be real grateful that he is a Cub. And the only thing is, if they don't give him some money soon,
yes,
that bill might get a little too high. It might get a little high.
The Cubs issue right now is all money. Like, they need to, the offense is really good.
That's literally it. Like, they could have any player that they want.
Right,
and
exactly.
Win the World Series. They could play the Dodgers game, the Yankees game, whatever, and they just don't.
They could have had Ohtani. Like, let's just be real about it. That's probably the thing that's probably as infuriating about the Cubs. We'll get to the actual on-play stuff again in just a second, but Kyle Tucker is ripping the ball out the park. I
could have had his old teammate playing third base.
Exactly.
And they let him go to Boston.
Yep, exactly. And I feel like with this team, it's not just that they're just hitting home runs. This is actual good offense, what we see. And I think the biggest question for me, I think they need a starter or 2, and I definitely need to help that bullpen out. Like
their bullpen, and it's again the juxtaposition of the two. The offense is obviously humming on all cylinders, and the bullpen is like dead last in nearly every offensive metric. It's just, and it's kind of like, I'll get into when we talk about some of my big surprises and observations from the season. The Texas baseball teams are having a similar situation, but reversed. The offenses stink, and then the pitching is fantastic. Here's
a question for you. I really want your opinion. I had a debate with one of my friends about this. What is worse, in your opinion? Having a great offense but terrible bullpen and shaky starting pitching, or having great starting pitching and great bullpen, but you just can't? Yeah, it's hard to score. Which is more irritating?
I'd rather have shitty offense because I feel like that you can tinker with an offense. But if you're fucking bullpen and you're pitching, they got the yips and they have no command and their velo sucks. Like you can't do anything with that because you can't. Again, you can't always out hit the other team. So if you're constantly giving up runs, you know, there's only so many home runs and singles and doubles that your team can hit into. There's only 3 outs an inning, you know?
Yeah. And you can always like hustle your way into like a run. Like I feel like if you have the pressure that you got to put up 5-6 runs a night, and even that might not be enough because you don't know what your bullpen is gonna do, that drives up a wall. And especially we know it's the number one thing in baseball that pisses me off. I hate walks. Oh my God, I hate walks. I would rather you just get hit batter by batter by batter instead of letting people walk.
How do you feel about intentional walks?
It's pussy, but I get it. It's pussy, but I get it. That's why I felt about the shift before too. Like I'm so glad they got rid of the shift. Like I get it. It's like to me, like there's a couple rules where like just in sports where it's rule wise, I get it. As a fan, I hate it. Intentional walks is one of them I don't like because basically what you're saying is I'm so scared of this nigga. I would rather give up other runs, multiple runs, as long as it's just not him. It's the stupidest thing on planet Earth, but I also get it from a strategic standpoint. But as a fan, I hate it. With basketball, I can't stand when the team is up 3 and the other team's fouling. No, you better hit that 3. I'm not giving you 2 points by sending you to the free throw line. I don't like it. So yeah, it's a good strategy. As a fan, it's just tough to me. But I think the Cubs, what's been most impressive about this start is like you just said, Courtney. They're beating good teams. They beat the Dodgers at home and away. You know, they're taking care of it. It's not like they're just
they played the Padres, I think 6 times now. They've won 3 out of those 6. And the Padres are really fucking good too, you know? So it's like they're playing and beating good teams. Again, I would like to see them continue to do that over a consistent basis. You know, baseball is a grind. It's a very, very long season. And listen, morale can change like that, especially with their bullpen and their pitching being as inconsistent as they are. You know, it only takes a bullpen giving up a lead so many times before that tension starts to bubble over into the rest of the clubhouse. And you know, and that can really affect how lineups play together and how teams play together. So again, I hope they do well. I think they are a playoff caliber team. I really do. Shout out to Russell Dorsey, who backs that sentiment completely. Friend of the program.
The program, Russ Dorsey. And this thing, like I don't have a problem with the Cubs team. I hate Cubs fans. I have no issue with the actual team. I think the Cubs White Sox rivalry is one of the dumbest rivalries in sports. Like outside of you know, just it being a cracking thing to do in the summer, like Crosstown is always good. Even though I don't feel like Crosstown has been electric in a while. But every summer, that's still something you go to. Even people who aren't baseball fans. Oh, I'm from the South Side. I'm from the North Side. We rolling with these teams. But actual rivalries don't really rivalries. I just don't like the fan base. But for content purposes, I hope they keep winning. Give me more stuff to talk about on the local hour. Because y'all don't want me to start talking about, hey, let me tell you what Costa Loveland was playing in the locker room doing mini camp. Like, give me something to talk about. So I hope they keep winning on that. They got 2 big. Here's the big thing too. If you're Cubs too, where I feel like they can go on a run. So you got 2 series coming up. You got the Giants who been playing really well, but you got them at Wrigley, and then you're going to Citi Field to take on the Mets. After that, they got the Marlins, they got the White Sox, the Reds. They that's a division rival. So that's 50-50. You know they haven't been that good. They got the Rockies, who might be worse than last year's White Sox.
Yeah,
which is saying a lot. And before they get into a tough June, and then you got the Nationals, then after that gets tough. You got the Tigers, Phillies, you know what I'm saying? So this is their chance, in my opinion, to stat pad, get those wins up as much as possible. Because we all know baseball, you can be hot for a month, and then the next month you just, Kyle Tucker can't hit now. All of a sudden, PCA can't hit now. So build that up right now, and I feel like they'll have a good foundation, at least heading in the All-Star break.
Absolutely. 100%.
Let's go into what you think of, like, what's some of the stories from this MLB season that have stood out to you outside of the Cubs?
Yeah, I said it. I touched on it just a little bit earlier. Texas baseball as a whole, not very good right now. And again, that's not just the Rangers. I mean, I'm talking about the entire state of Texas, Astros included. Those are two teams that aren't just playing right now. And the only reason why they are still kind of hanging in there is because of their pitching. But other than that, both offenses, there's a lot that is left to be desired. 20, yeah, the Rangers are 29th in Major League Baseball in runs scored. So remember how earlier I said that the Cubs have scored 208 runs so far? Yeah, the Rangers have scored 113. Nobody is hitting right now. Nobody is hitting right now for the Rangers. Same thing with the Astros. And God, I just can't help but feel like if they had like an incredible power hitter in right field, and a guy that played third base that was a great hitter, I can't help but feeling like, that's a joke because they did, and they let them both go. And now one plays for the Red Sox and one plays for the fucking Chicago Cubs. That being said, Yordan Alvarez is off to a really, really slow start. He actually just got placed on the injured list today. But when is he not injured? It happens just about once or twice this season. But yeah, when the best hitter in your lineup is slashing 210, 306, and 340 with a 646 OPS, that's going to happen. That being said, they're still going to hang in there because the Mariners are having a great offensive streak right now. I don't think that will last. I still think that the Angels will end up in the cellar just with the formerly Oakland Athletics.
No thing. They're 100%. This is what they do. This is 100%. They're gonna finish in the cellar. And isn't Mike Trout hurt again? Like, come on, man. Like, Trout is too good.
He's insistent that he won't be on the injured list for very long because it's not like his other injuries.
Yeah, he said that last year. What do you think about the NL West a little bit? Like, to me, like, I'm not the Dodgers to me. But
no, listen. The Dodgers are still the best team in the NL West. All that being said, it would not surprise me if at the end of the season they didn't win the division.
Yeah.
Because there's so much congestion in that top three. And again, just goes back to observations. The Padres have this incredible way with pitching. Their staff is fantastic. Nick Pavetta, and they're doing this like without some of their best pitchers, So they signed Nick Pavetta to this deal. He's been fantastic for them. The Giants, and mind you, Willy Adames hasn't even gotten started like hitting. He's been fucking terrible so far to start the season. And mind you, the Giants just got Matt Chapman rolling. So the Giants have had this level of success for about, again, Matt Chapman just started hitting like maybe a week ago. They're doing that. They were doing that and having that level of success without Willy Adames or Matt Chapman. That's a scary team.
Yeah.
And if the Dodgers do keep having, again, they got very lucky in the sense last year that, they were able to like MacGyver their bullpen and their staff and piece together a playoff run. Sometimes that's all you need to be able to do, right? But like, you can't get behind in this division. You can't afford to get behind. So if they continue to lose arms and, maybe they blow leads sometime, which they have been guilty of.
Bobby
Miller got shellacked a couple weeks ago. I know Clayton Kershaw is, on the horizon, but who knows what you're going to get from a guy who's almost in his 40s. If he's not in his 40s, I can't recall. You just don't know what you're going to get. If you're the Dodgers, you can't get behind. But it's going to be an exciting NL West race this summer.
Yeah. I'll say this about the Dodgers. I think they're still in that champions mode where we don't really care about the regular season. Like just get us in there and we got a shot. But I think if you're the Padres, I think you have to win this division. If you want any shot of beating this team in the playoffs, I believe they have to win a division. So very exciting first month of the season, man. Courtney, we gonna get you out of there. Anything you want to pub, let them know what you guys might be talking about on High and Outside this week. I don't know if Don just did out y'all rundown yet, so I don't know. But
Yeah, we do not, but we will actually very likely be doing just an expanded version of this conversation, probably significantly more in depth, just first month observations, probably do like preseason awards or, mid-season awards, first month MVP, things like that. But yeah, we be hooping. If you have not tapped in with the High and Outside crew, we really be hooping. And if you like numbers and you really like ball, we're the people to come listen to, for real.
Very high quality baseball talk. And also shout out to Dante, even though he watched us on the break. I wanted to put the picture you put in the group chat, but I don't want to blow stuff up like that. But Dante been holding it down on our Atlanta Braves coverage, man. So shout out to Dante. You can follow Courtney at 1-800-Colobro. Check out High and Outside drops every Friday on the Barber's Chat Network. Courtney, we're gonna holler at you next Monday. And we'll see what your stars do next Monday. So we gonna holler at you.
Stars and six.
Stars and six. We're going to take a real quick break. And on the other side, we've got the homie Tosin here, man, for another edition of Soccer for Dummies. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on the other side, man. So we're gonna take a quick 1-minute break and we will be back.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on the show. Shout out to everybody who's been tuning in. We gonna take you up. I said we're gonna take you up to Knicks Celtics. Actually about to go in 3 minutes, so I don't know. Anyway, we got the homie Tosin in the house, man. Of course, he is part of the I'm Not Gonna Hold You crew. Also, one of the hosts of the Shirtless Plantain Show, man. Tosin, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. I literally just got back to New York like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, so shit. And you ran in. I have officially been knighted today. I just got my first kit today. Got my Arsenal 24-25 home kit. I know that they switch them up each year, so that explains why it was $40 cheaper than it usually was. So I was like, shout out to that. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, man. A lot of news dropping. We starting to get in the transfer season. We starting to see some potential signings, but all that kicked off today with Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool, the Premier League champion. Liverpool is going to be rumored to going to Real Madrid. Now, we have already seen that he's, dropped the video and, explained his decision. Now, from what I've been told, because like I said, I've only been following the sport for 2 months now, but this has been ongoing thing for the last 18 months. A lot of people trying to figure out what's going on. This is something that broke this morning, and it's been a lot of vitriol coming from Liverpool fans this whole entire day, feeling like they've been blindsided, wondering why he didn't do this earlier. What's up? Everything saying he wanted to be Liverpool captain, and also the fact that this is a guy who's been with this club since he was 6 years old, 20 years, and they feel betrayed. I've always been a proponent of athletes don't owe clubs, teams, anything. Somebody told me, well, it's different than football. I get he's been there since a kid, but in sports, he's won everything. He's won 2 Premier League titles, League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. If he wants to go and play for Real Madrid, I feel like he should be able to do that. I'm not saying fans can't feel the way that they want to feel. Fans should be able to feel that. We fall in love with these players. We follow these players. I was mad when Julius Pepper left us for the Packers. I get it. But I didn't go around calling him a traitor and a coward and you should never come back to the club. Tosin, what's your opinion on not just the move of him potentially going to Real Madrid, but what the fan backlash has been like?
I mean, they all got to grow up. I understand it. Like, I understand you're upset that like a player who you came from academies leaving. I understand like the vitriol and all of that. But at the end of the day, he's 26 years old. He wants a new challenge. And he did more for you guys than Steven Gerrard did. So there's that. The first thing. Second of all, it's just like, it's just time, man. Like, he wants to go to Madrid and go to Spain. I mean, no offense to England, but I'd much rather be in sunny Madrid than much rather be in Liverpool. Just is what it is. So there's those two factors as well. But he also wants to challenge himself. They need a right back next year, and the best club in the world needs a right back. He's got his best friend there in Jude there, so it makes sense. And they're an Adidas team as well. So everything just kind of makes sense, just from a football perspective, off the pitch, everything just makes sense for him.
Yeah, I feel also too, man, like people said that, he should allow us to get something back. Like, I always say, man, if the shoe was on the other foot, teams would have did him dirty. So, like, I never understood this. I feel like there needs to be, and I'm probably asking for a lot from fans, there needs to be a little bit of realism and also being a fan where, like, if, let's just say, Trent got injured or something like that, and the club would have got rid of him right away. They wouldn't have cared about his 20-year service and what he's done for the teams and things like that. So I understand the emotion, but in the end of the day, he a grown man. He a grown man, like you said. You rather be. It's a new challenge. We can say whatever you want to say about Real Madrid and them having a mid-year and all that is true, but they are one of, if not the biggest club in world football.
I look at it like this: it's a job thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're not going to stay loyal to your job forever, right? This is not the 60s anymore. Whoever gives you the most money and gives you the better opportunity, you're going to go. That's literally his job is to kick a ball, and he's going to the best place for him. That's how you should look at it. At the end of the day, this is his job. He's going for the best place for him. Everything else is nonsense after that. Like, this is his personal decision. You got to live with it. You might not like it. You might not love it, but guess what? That's his decision. He made that decision. Deal with it and keep it pushing.
Now, on the Trent thing, how do you think he helps Real Madrid? Real Madrid has been a team that has had a lot of talent. They really haven't been that good this year. They still have a chance, even a slight chance to win La Liga. How do you think he helps them if it is official? Because I've been told that transfers aren't official until you see them niggas holding up a jersey. Is what every football fan has warned me of. And how do you think Liverpool moves on from his absence?
So I'll answer Liverpool first part. They're partnering up promoting Conor Bradley from the academy and then just trying to keep everything kind of kosher that way, just keeping Conor Bradley. It's going to suck because, to me, Trent is not the best right back in the world when it comes to actual, like, being the right back. But when it comes to playmaking from that position, there's none better. So I think Madrid have been missing someone who can actually pick out a pass, and Trent's their guy. He's going to create from deep right back, end up being someone like a Dani Alves where he just runs that whole entire right flank by himself. So I'm excited to see how he fits in Spain physically, tactically, and all of that, because he's a great player. But it's just defensively, sometimes he's not the best. So I think he's going to do wonders for them because now Valverde doesn't have to play right back all the time. He can just be focused strictly on right back. So I'm excited to see how that looks with Trent as a Real Madrid player now. So that's really it for me. It's like they finally have a playmaker, but from a different side of the pitch. But Xabi Alonso should be coming in as their coach. So I'm excited to see if he's going to play a 3-back system or if he's going to play a 4-back system. That's going to be the one exciting thing for me about Real Madrid next year is like, how do they switch up tactically?
Definitely. And there's rumors that I always be fucking his name up, big coach. And Ancelotti, that's pronounced it?
Ancelotti.
Yeah, that he's going to be coaching Brazil is from what it sounds like.
As you should. I mean, he's had a great career on the pitch, great career off the pitch. Go to Brazil, man. Go enjoy Caprihanas in Rio, man. Enjoy your time. Go
I'm all for people doing what they want to do with their careers. Go ahead, give, especially super accomplished people who have won everything there is to win at the specific job. So definitely shout at them. Let's move on to my club, my Arsenal team. It's not been a fun week, to say the least. Crazy thing was I was on a flight last Tuesday for the first leg. So I did not see the game. And I was like, I wonder what the score is. I actually paid for Wi-Fi for like 20 minutes just so I could see what the score was. And boy, was I pissed when that ESPN alert said 1-0 PSG. But it just kind of been a long week. Not only losing the first leg to PSG, that Bournemouth game, that's when I knew I'm officially fan. When I tell you I was pissed, like, and you come out with that starting 11, which they didn't go out there and just throw bench players out there. They were trying to get this game, blowing that lead. And I don't care about the VAR thing that Arsenal fans have been yelling about for the last couple games. The play was why they lost that game. A draw wouldn't have been any better. than the results you got. And then you look at how the Champions League thing is. Not only are we fighting to actually win the Champions League, we're fighting for our Champions League position. Yeah. You got Man City, who, as bad as the season they had, are 3 points behind us now. You got Nottingham Forest. You got Aston Villa in the background. You got Chelsea. Chelsea had a great week. You know what I'm saying? And all these other teams was like a 5-team race. Now, I'm not worried about them falling out to 5. And honestly, finishing at second, I know it don't really mean nothing, but the optics are terrible. If you let a team like Man City, who you've had problems with the last couple of seasons, finish ahead of you in a year that you were supposed to be a favorite coming into the season. So my question for you, Tosin, is do you feel like Arsenal's season is on the line this week? Because if you lose this game, the opinion of this season changes a lot.
See, I'm not of the opinion that Arsenal's had a bad season, even if you lose Champions League. I think that there's a lot of context that people fail to realize with this Arsenal team that, like, I obviously have privy to, being somebody who's watched the sport forever. Arsenal finally are, like, competing for big titles, right? They're finally in that space where, 2019, Arsenal were not here. Mikel Arteta's done a really good rebuild. I see a lot of fans saying they want him out. I'm like, to do what and to get who exactly? I think what you're seeing now is that this Arsenal team is they're at the finish line. They all see red. Like, they're all extremely tired. The players are tired. The coach is tired. The squad has no depth. I mean, Kai Havertz has obviously been injured for a while. Jorginho's been injured. So it's like you don't have enough depth in this team to kind of rotate. So you're just going piecemeal by piecemeal each game. So I think if you do lose on Wednesday, heads will have to roll in the summer. You're going to have to make some big moves, like figure it out, because you're right there. I think that's the thing Arsenal fans don't realize, like, you're literally right there. You just need a few tweaks here and there. You need a striker. You might need another left winger. But you're right there. You're really, really close. So I wouldn't see it as a failure. It's just more so a building blocks. You have to get to that next stage. I think that's the next project for Mikel Arteta. And I was like, okay, you built this squad to this level. How now elevate it to the next level? Because if they lose to PSG, I mean, it's not the worst team you're going to lose to. Because I personally think that whoever wins between PSG and Arsenal is going to win the Champions League. I truly believe that. Whoever wins between the two is going to win. Because what I see from Barcelona is that's a very talented team who has a high line, whose line is higher than Rick James in 1984. Their line is extremely high. And Arsenal and PSG got enough pace to beat them behind, especially PSG. So I'm excited to see, like, how Arsenal and PSG match up, because I think whoever wins that, like I said. But with Arsenal, like I'm saying, it's like, I understand the vitriol. You guys want Champions League, you want to win the title, but you're not there yet. Your injuries literally decimated your season, and it just is what it is.
As somebody who joined the party late, I've done a lot of research on these last couple seasons, and from somebody who just joined the party, one thing I've learned, Arsenal fans remind me a lot of Bears fans. I mean, like, it is just over the top, bro. Like, Mikel Arteta, do I think he has issues? Yes. Do I think he relies, they always say he relies too much on his starters. To be fair, they did with a lot of injuries. And this is not like an excuse or none. You have, Kai Havertz, he still leads the team in goals. You know what I'm saying? He ain't played in a couple months. You have some of your best players out. But Bukayo Saka missed 3 whole months. And even now, you can kind of see even a little bit, he doesn't have the same motor. He's still trying to get back. And from shout out our super producer, Nikhil, he's told me, prior to Mikel Arteta, he said, it questioned my love for football. So I think you got to come and see just where it's been. And like you said, the last couple of years, they've been legit competition. Like, this is the first time they've been to semifinals since 2008, 2009? Like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So it's like it's practicing patience, but at the same time, the firing Mikel Arteta thing is honestly insane to me. No matter what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with United fans when to fire Ruben Amorim. I'm like, shut up, grow up. He ain't going nowhere. Okay, just grow up. Like, good coaches are hard to find. Like, and that goes for any sport.
In any sport, girl, you never know how good you got it until you get rid of a coach and you see something else. Oh, it was worse. I always say about one coach that Lovie Smith with the Bears, like when they fired him in 2012, I always said that was the right move. Replacing him with Mark Trestman was the wrong move.
Like Mark Trestman. I do not miss that guy whatsoever.
I was just like, oh my God. So, but I want to talk about the transfer window, because the transfer window, we're starting to see things.
Yeah.
Now I had a question for you that I've been looking, I've been Googling, and I just can't find an answer. So for players who aren't in the Premier League, can they agree to a deal early? Like, because I saw something like when Erling Haaland went to Man City, he agreed in like May, but he didn't sign until July.
That's a complicated question. So, for example, like let's say I'm gonna use Olayna as an example, right? Olayna's contract ends in the summer. In January, Olayna could have talked to any team and agreed a deal as a free agent, right? Yeah. So you can also, like Giovanni Quenda's coming to Chelsea, like they agreed that deal in advance. So sometimes you can do a deal with the other team where like the player is set to join at a certain time. So that all just depends on the club. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, because we've been hearing different rumors, and I've been told multiple times, don't get excited about anything until you see that "Welcome to the Arsenal" video on YouTube.
And a lot of that is like agent talk, like agents when they
talk. Yeah, I heard about
new deals. They want to find new clubs, so it's just all agent talk. So you just can't mind any of this stuff that's happening. Like just now, like Bruno Fernandes was linked to go to Saudi Arabia. I'm like, whatever, dude.
It changes by the hour almost.
Yeah. So
changes by the hour. Now we're hearing Saliba might be going to Real Madrid. We're hearing stuff. Yeah, right. Said, but he's got to be convinced. And you hear different stories. But we've heard a couple things already. We've heard that Andrea Berta he's really trying real hard to land Victor Gyökeres. We're hearing this morning that Arsenal is allegedly in serious discussions with Jamie Gittins. And then we're also hearing that the Martin Zumbati deal is basically done. Now, this is just like you said, pending. My two-part question for you. One, what do you think should be the absolute thing, like the first signing? And number two, how big is this summer for Arsenal? Is it a make or break to you?
I think the most important thing Arsenal should do this year is get two positions, actually. Get a defensive midfielder and get a striker. I think both of those two are paramount. For what I've seen from Declan Rice, that's not a number 6. Declan Rice he's not your actual defensive. He can do it, but that's not the use.
I agree. When they moved him to 8, he was hooping.
Yeah, that's Declan Rice's position. He bombs forward. Like he's a box-to-box midfielder. Striker, Arsenal needs a goal scorer badly. You need a focal point badly. Is it a make or break summer? I say for every team it is. I think there's very, very few teams in this world right now who just needs tweaks. I think Arsenal just needs like maybe 2-3 positions. They'll be fine. Liverpool need maybe 2 or 3 positions. PSG maybe need a position or 2. But other than that, like outside of PSG and Barcelona, outside of those 4, PSG, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, everybody has to go back to the drawing table and do major surgery. City, United, Chelsea, Inter Milan, AC Milan, everybody needs to do major surgery. Real Madrid needs to do major. A lot of people do. So for Arsenal, I'm going to say it's a make or break. It's just more so get your shit together type of summer. That's what it is. Like, stop getting what you want and get actually what you need. Yeah, this is a need summer, not a want summer. Get what you actually need. And once you get what you need, you can fill out the rest. But for Arsenal, I wouldn't say it's make a break. Like, you guys are trending upwards. Arsenal's actually trending upwards. I think despite the doom and gloom, like, the fans have to realize that, like, being a consistently top 4 Champions League team saves you financially. Number 2, like, you're competing. That means you're actually competing every year. Unlike a team like mine who's fucking losing, being in 15th position. So you want to be consistent staying up there. So just more so tweaking your team this summer. That's what it is for Arsenal.
Now, if this is anybody else but Orlando in the chat, I would have answered sincerely. He got re-signed like 3 weeks ago, brother.
Yeah, you remember.
He got his deal a couple weeks ago. But Champions League, second leg. Tomorrow will be Barcelona and Inter Milan. Yeah. And then you've got Wednesday, Arsenal and PSG second leg. For me, I think the game of this week is going to be Barcelona and Inter Milan. The game, first leg was crazy. I just really love what I see from Barcelona. Yamin Lamar is my favorite player right now. Like, this young nigga is cold. Like, and I like his confidence, his swagger. I saw a video on the Barcelona Instagram account. He walking in the stadium playing 50 Cent a little bit. I know that nigga wasn't even born when that song came out. With the boom box.
That's all his dad.
That's all it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I was like 16 when that song came out. So I know this nigga wasn't born. But you got that I personally think it's going to be Barcelona and PSG. I'm not saying that Arsenal can't win on Wednesday. My issue is the scoring. I feel like, at least at the time I've watched, and from other Arsenal fans that told me this has been an issue all season, they don't score like effectively, in my opinion. Barcelona can get down 2 or 3 goals, and they're going to be fine. If we get down 2 or 3 goals, it's going to be a problem. I think we will score the first goal, but I think it's going to be very, very hard. And I think for me, I got PSG winning. I think that the score Wednesday is going to be 2-1. They're winning on a 3-1 aggregate. I would love to be wrong. But how do you see these two matchups going this week?
PSG, Barcelona for me. I'm also, by the way, alleged what Marcus Thuram did to that young lady. Nasty work, just disgusting. I had to get that out the way. I don't know what happened. I just know like it looks horrible. That's all I can say about that. I just think that I think Inter have run out of gas too. I think that they have some really talented players. Like I said, I mentioned Bastoni, I mentioned Barella, I mentioned Lautaro Martinez. I think they're very talented. I just think that going against Barcelona is going to be tough for them. I think Barcelona don't care. They can score at will. With Arsenal PSG, it's just, here's the thing about PSG. Like, PSG fans are crazy. Like, that's an insane atmosphere. The Parc des Princes is insane. Bro. So
was crazy at the Emirates.
Yeah. And they were away, so now they're gonna be home. They're gonna be turning up. So I don't know. I just have PSG edging it, and I have Barcelona beating Inter. So it's gonna be PSG. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can admit if I was wrong, but I definitely think it's going to be PSG and Barcelona.
I would definitely be tuned in the AFTV if the Arsenal loses that game. I know there's going to be a lot of niggas losing their shit if that happens. But final topic of the show, man. We got El Clásico Part 2, I think. I don't know how many times. It might be Part 4 from this year. But Real Madrid playing Barcelona. I think this one is in Madrid. Is this one?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it is.
You got Kylian Mbappe. He's back. He had a couple goals this past weekend. And we got Lewandowski. He's gonna be back. So it should be a good game. If Barcelona wins this, it will pretty much seal the La Liga title. So this is pretty much for the season for Real Madrid. 2-part question. First, I want to know what's your I see a lot of people. I've been watching a lot of podcasts saying that, Lamine Yamal is the next Messi, things like that. I've seen different people who've played with both him and Ronaldo, so he's way across them. Now, in your opinion, is this something where people are just doing too much, or do you think he's in that cloth? Because a lot of stuff he's done at 17 is insane already.
I'm going to give you the best 5 under 20 players, teenagers I've ever seen in my life. Obviously I didn't see Pele growing up, but Pele just by default is there, right? Played in the World Cup at 17, scored. So Pele is number 1, obviously. The second player that I will say, and a lot of people are like, what, is R9, Brazilian Ronaldo.
Okay.
That is the greatest player to me ever. That's my favorite player of all time. What he was doing at 16, 17, 18 is stupid. Like, the things that he was doing is dumb. Yamal's number 3 for me as best teenagers I've seen in I'm only saying this because we all saw it, and if you watch soccer enough, I think that what Lamine Yamal is he's this Gen Z's version of the first teenage superstar they've ever seen. So they haven't seen much from the past, and I don't blame them. This is what they've seen, and I think Yamal is one of the best teenagers I've ever seen in my life. I genuinely believe that because he's already won a Euro and one of the best players in the Euros at 16, just turning 17, right? So he's incredibly talented. The thing about Yamal that surprises me every time is his playmaking and his vision, right? At 17, you shouldn't be that good at picking out passes. That's some shit you develop as you get older, not immediately out the gate. So I think the hype is worth it, right? The hype is, I don't even think it's enough. I think people should go even more overboard.
They should be doing more.
The kid is special because he was born in 07, right? He started walking in 08.
That's
he was
so crazy to me.
Yeah, he was walking when Obama was president, bro. What do you mean a kid who was walking during the financial crisis, learning how to walk during that, is one of the best players in the world? It doesn't make any sense. So I do think that talent-wise, he's up there. And I think that what we're going to start seeing in the sport now is a lot of players peaking earlier and retiring earlier, because I don't know how you're gonna sustain this from like 17 to 35. That's 18 years.
I mean, like, just think about where he's gonna be at 27. Like, he already got 100 appearances at 17.
That's absurd. Cristiano and Messi barely had 20 combined at that age, you know. So it's a lot on the kid, but hey, listen, he's talented as hell. He's showing every week. So yeah. What was the other question too?
How you got this game playing out this weekend?
Ideally, I would love Real Madrid to beat them because Barcelona's wearing Travis Scott jerseys, and that's disgusting. I just think that Barcelona has a little bit too much for Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid right now are very injured. And Mbappe's playing very well. Yeah. Mbappe's finally playing well, but I think that they've figured out something that I want to see next year is put an Arda Güler in the midfield. I hope they do that more because he's actually really good through the middle, not on the wing. So I'm excited to see where they go from there.
Well, that's all we got for Soccer for Dummies. I got one NFL question for you.
Yes, sir.
How you feel about Tucker not being on Freaky Tuck not being on Baltimore Ravens anymore?
I mean, as soon as we drafted the kicker, it was over. I mean, if you've been
for football reasons,
if you've been a fan of the Ravens for as long as I have been since 2001, you know how this organization moves. As soon as the first article came out, I was like, oh, he's done. And the more and more stuff coming out, I was like, first of all, he's declining, he's trending down. Like the Ravens, what they always do is like they get rid of your year early before you're too bad. But the thing is, I just knew Tucker was bad last year. He was missing like stuff he never misses, and then
never misses. Yeah.
Then you have the allegations on top of that, and the allegations were graphic. So I was like, hey, the NFL, like they got their own PIs in the league. So if the Ravens are acting this early, it's a damning case. So it's not a shock. So we go with Tyler Loop. So hopefully he gets to show out this year. He's made a 75-yard field goal apparently. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. Tosin, let us know what's on the Shirtless Plantain show this week.
Oh man, we got Champions League review coming out on Wednesday. I'm sure the Arsenal guys will have their words. I'll be back on that episode. I haven't been on in a few days, but I'll be back. We got the weekend review. I'll have my United thoughts on Thursday after we hopefully beat Bilbao, but that's what we got coming up. It's going to be an exciting summer, man. We're trying to figure out a lot of stuff and really want to bring more soccer to you guys. That's really like the big goal. So yeah.
Definitely, man. You can get in tune with Shirtless Plantain Show. You can see the ad on the bottom screen at Shirtless Plantain Show on social media. Tosin, man, we gonna holler at you, bro.
All right, man. Be easy.
Yes, sir. That is it for this week's edition. Not this week, but for the Monday edition. I'm not gonna hold you, man. It's your boy Scott in the building. Shout out to everybody who joined us today. Like I said, midweek show will be going on Wednesday per usual. I'll be giving all the updates what's going on in the NBA this week. And then Friday, we're going to have a great show. We're going to be doing a watch party, an online watch party for one of these playoff games this weekend. Stay tuned for info of that on Friday, man. So shout out everybody in the chat watching. I appreciate all of y'all, man, all the support that's been going on. So y'all know where to follow me on all social media platforms, man, at BarbChairScott. That's Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Follow H&B Media and at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. Follow the Barber's Chair at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms and follow the show. I'm not going to hold you at INGHY Show on Instagram, man. Subscribe to the Patreon, man. We need y'all to keep doing that and supporting the brand that has been growing. We appreciate everybody who does, man. If you're listening to this on the podcast feeds, man, the link is in the description box. If you are watching this, take your phone up to the QR code and it'll take you to all 4 different tiers. If you subscribe to the $5, I'm not gonna hold you tier, or the $10 all access Barber's Chair feed, you get 25% off your first order of the Barber's Chair Network merchandise shop. That is the bcnetshop.com. We've got a dope new shirt that's out right now. Dope new 79th and Howland shirt. The Prince That Was Promised. Nice Caleb Williams Game of Thrones inspired t-shirt, man. Pick that up as well as everything else on the site going on right now. Get you 25% for subscribing to the Patreon. So that's all I got for y'all. Y'all enjoyed y'all night watching these 2 playoff games. The Knicks and the Celtics on right now. Thunder Nuggets will follow right after that. We're gonna holler at y'all on Wednesday, man. We about it.